Morning, Alexios, Raptor Freak here. Sunday morning, guys, we did it. We got through 82 games of the regular season. This is the last game of the 82 game season today against New York in Madison Square Garden. Fantastic accomplishment by the Raptors to do so well this season. This game doesn't matter for any playoff implications as far as things, but we'd like to go ahead and win it so that we have 49 wins for the season. So let's play for the W, baby. Let's make sure we win today against the Knicks just because we want that extra W. But games today do matter for our playoff implications, and specifically the game that involves the Philadelphia 76ers today with the Detroit Pistons and the Boston Celtics game with the Memphis Grizzlies. We'll talk about this just really fast right now. Like, Boston is in Memphis and Philadelphia is at home against Detroit. Now, there's a couple of different things that could happen depending on what happens with their games. And I'm going to go over them right now. Basically, Boston and Philadelphia's records are exactly the same today. Now, Boston has the tiebreakers. So that means if they end up the same at the end of the day, Boston will be in that third seed and the Sixers will be in the fourth seed. Now, there's a couple of things that could happen that can make them flip today. And basically, that's if Philadelphia ends up with a better record today than the Boston Celtics, then we will face the Boston Celtics in the first round. But if Philadelphia ends up with the same record as Boston today, we will face the 76ers. So it's basically like this. So let's say Boston wins and Philadelphia wins, we play Philadelphia. We say Boston wins and Philadelphia loses, we play Philadelphia. If Boston loses and Philadelphia loses, we play Philadelphia. If Boston loses and Philadelphia wins, we play Boston. So there's four scenarios that could happen. And this is the thing. Boston's playing Memphis in Memphis, and we know what Memphis is like this year. And the Sixers are playing in Philadelphia against the Detroit Pistons and Coach Casey today. And that's the thing. Like, if Boston doesn't get the job done today, because Memphis is a great team and they're going to be playing them in Memphis. And meanwhile, Philadelphia beats Detroit and they end up with a better record than Boston, we're going to face the Celtics in the first round. So that's the craziness of it. It's more likely some ways that we will win. We will face Sixers, but there is a really good chance we could face the Celtics in the first round, depending on how those games go. And I'm looking at the refs for their games, and Ed Malloy is reffing that Boston Celtics game today against Memphis. I don't know if that means something good, because we kind of want Boston to win today in some ways. But if it is going to end up being us against the Celtics in the first round, so be it. Then we'll see who wins and see what happens. And in a way, that might be good because Robert Williams III won't be back until the second round at the earliest. And we may want to face the Celtics earlier and knock them the fuck out before they get Time Lord back. So it's going to be real interesting to watch what happens between the Philly game with Detroit and the Boston game against the Memphis Grizzlies today. Good morning, Tom. Good to see you. Let's go, Tom. Yes. I'm still not feeling well. I took a good shower this morning, so I'm feeling a bit better than I did yesterday, but it is still ravaging my body. This COVID thing is no joke, and I've had it for real. I took my second test yesterday, and it was pinker than the first one. So there's no denying that I have had COVID-19 this week, and that my test results have reflected that for sure. Monique's here. Good to see you, Monique. Hope you're doing well, Lex. Thank you for your live stream this morning and the season. Go Raptors. You're welcome, Monique. I'll continue going to do this even in the off season, Monique. We're going to have interesting programming each day of the week that we'll have a lot of fun doing different things during the off season, keeping the Raptors fandom and spirit alive of the Raptor Freak cult. And I hope you'll join me as much as you can this summer. But I know people get busy. And of course, the content will be different. It won't be as long. Maybe some days we'll do a long live stream where we're talking a lot. But some days they may be real short. I might do 5 or 10 minutes at times on certain days, depending on how things are going. Could be a slow news day, and there may not be a whole lot to talk about. So yeah, I really appreciate that, Monique. It's been a joy to do this whole season. And just like you have blossomed this season in some of the ways with your projects and stuff like that, I feel like that's happening to me also. And I want to keep going. That's for sure. Jimmy Pope's here. Good to see you, Jimmy, as usual. Last game, let's go. We might end up playing the Celtics. They play the red hot Grizzlies. This is such a crazy thing. Like, in some ways, I'm really rooting for the Celtics to win. Win, Celtics. That goes against my nature. Like, I don't want them to win, but I do want them to win today in a way, because I really do kind of want to play the Sixers. And the Celtics have to win today. If they win, then it's all over and done with. We're playing the Sixers. And that's kind of what I'd like to happen. But the Grizzlies are a great team. And I don't know what's going on with them exactly today, as far as like they're locked into their second spot in the Western Conference. They have nothing really to play for other than playing out the season and trying to get a better record and having an extra win on top of it. So I don't know if they're going to shut guys down or who's going to be playing for what on this last day of the season, because that's always a question going into playoffs. Who's resting who for what reason? Like us, we're going to be resting guys tonight and weird things. We don't exactly know which Philadelphia team's going to be playing Detroit today, which Detroit team's going to be playing Philadelphia, which Memphis team's going to be playing Boston, and which Celtic team's going to be playing today. I don't know. And it could be strategy-wise, too, that the Celtics are like, we don't want to win this game today because we want to play we don't want to play the Raptors or something. They may want to try and manipulate the outcomes of the game to get the matchup that they want. Like, is Celtic fan want the Boston's do they want the Toronto Raptors or do they want the Chicago Bulls? And that they might want to start thinking about that as far as whether they're trying to win or not. But like, the Celtics need to win. They need to win if they want the Bulls, basically, is what I'm saying. Because if they lose and Philadelphia wins, then we're playing the Celtics. And it's that simple. It's crazy. Let's see. Jimmy's saying it's sure what matchup I want. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, I've had it all week, but I'm playing sick. I'm playing hurt. I don't give a shit. I'm like the Raptors. I'm gonna come out there and fucking do what I do, even if I don't feel well. Fuck it. It's just how it is. Darren saying be well. Celts or Sixers? Sixers, please. I'm kind of with you on that. Although, listen, if we have to play the Celtics, it may be better to get them now and get them out if we can. Like, we need to have some get back and revenge. We want to get on the Celtics, and we'll see. Let's just see how it all goes down today and see who wins what and who we're going to be looking across from at the first round on Saturday. That's going to be very interesting. Tom Duke's saying, yeah, last game of the season. It's been a great one, and you've made it much more enjoyable. Thank you, Tom. You too, man. You've made this so much more fun for me. I'm actually really happy that I've made so many new Raptor friends through doing this channel. Like, I feel like all you guys are my friends now, even though you see me, but I don't see y'all. But like, I feel like I know y'all's personalities to a degree in different ways and stuff like that. And I'm really, really grateful to have this community, as you guys are too, as far as things, because this has been just a blessing and a great surprise this whole season, how things have developed with the Raptor Freak channel and stuff like that. I really love it. Darren's saying he'd prefer the Celtics on the other side of the bracket. I would love to get some get back. It's kind of like, let's not be afraid of facing the biggest demon on our back from the playoffs, from the bubble. Let's go get that get back. These guys want to beat them. In some ways, the Celtics are scared of us in some ways because they know that we can face them in a pretty even matchup, and that's dangerous. I don't know what their record is against the Bulls, and I don't think the Bulls did well against them. So it could be that Celtic fan is really hoping that their team ends up with the Bulls in the first round right now. So we'll have to see what happens. I don't think either our nation or their nation wants anything to do with each other right now in some ways. And the Sixers is really the better matchup for us in a lot of ways too. But it's so crazy how today is all about Atlantic Division teams. We're playing the Knicks to finish out, and we're worried about what Boston and Philadelphia are doing today. It's all an Atlantic Division kind of thing today. The other thing about it is that Boston and Philly are playing for the Atlantic Division title. So in some ways, that may be some gumption for the Celtics to try and win for sure today, because they win today, they're the Atlantic Division champions. But if they lose and Philadelphia wins, they're the Atlantic Division champions. And that is something to brag about in some ways, to be the division champion of your division, especially how competitive our division was this year. with the Nets being up there for a bit, the Sixers, the Celtics, and we've been involved. Like, we're not that far off from being the Atlantic Division champs ourselves. And if we'd had a little bit better start of the season with our record and not been so below 500 and having to make it up, that we would be up there with them. It was really the beginning of the season, having Pascal out and all the kind of different adjustments and trying to figure things out. We lost a lot of games we shouldn't have lost in the first 2 months of the season, and we made up for it since then. So it's stuff like that. But yeah, very interesting. Monique's saying so much to look forward to today. Game day for the 9:05 too. Yes, and it's too bad that they're on at the same time. Like, both games start at 7 tonight. The Knicks game and the Raptors 9:05 playing in the Eastern Conference Finals of the G League against the Delaware Blue Coats. And the Blue Coats are the G League team for the Philadelphia 76ers. This is fantastic. They had the Western Conference Final last night, and the Vipers won. The Houston Rockets G League team, they won their side. So whoever wins the game today between the 9:05 and the Delaware Blue Coats is going to face the Grand Rapids Vipers or something like that in the finals of the G League. And so we already know who's on the other side in the West from the game last night. So it's going to be fun. I feel real good. Justin is going to be trying to do some stuff tonight, I'm sure, to make sure the 9:05 beat the Blue Coats for sure. The Blue Coats, I saw them play the Blue Coats a few times this season, and we did really well. We did really, really well. So hopefully that can continue tonight. But it is too bad that Reggie Perry got a full contract to go to the Portland Trailblazers for the rest of the year, and he's missing out on this playoff run with the G League after all the work he's put in for the team this year. And he's been such an important, like our main important big guy on that team also. So it is what it is. But it's going to be a lot of fun, Monique. And let's go 9:05. Beat them today and get to the finals. And let's get this championship for the G League this year, for sure. Darren's saying the Celtics want the Bulls. The Sixers want the Bulls. They both want the Bulls. They don't want us. And, they're going to try and do stuff. I really hope Coach Casey can do us a solid and overachieve. Beat up on the Sixers tonight, Coach Casey, and get them to us. We want the Sixers probably. So for the most part, we do. So Coach Casey, Detroit, you fucked us up all season. Do us a solid and beat the Sixers today so that we get them in the first round. Please, Coach. Oh, my gosh. Let's see. Darren's saying Celts can wear out the Bucks. That's a good matchup, and they do. When they play each other. They played each other recently. The Bucks beat the Celtics, and that's part of the reason why the Celtics are in play for us to have to possibly play them. Like, if they had just won more of their games, this wouldn't even be in a reach. We would be already matched up with Philadelphia, but they lost to the Bucks the other night, and that actually made this kind of possible. Is because Milwaukee beat them. So very interesting. Jimmy Pope's saying, "Oh yeah, for sure. Glad to talk Raptors every single day this summer." I'll pop in and I'll talk about maybe the topic of the day. I have different programming I'm going to do for different days of the week, and you'll have something. I have a new a new concept for what I'm going to do on Fridays. I've changed it. I was going to do flashback Fridays, but I've changed my mind. I'm going to do something called the Freak Out, the Friday Freak Out, and it's basically going to be whatever that week has been pissing me off or has me really riled up. I'm going to go off and do a freak out, like on Friday afternoons or Friday mornings when I do my stream then. And so you'll get to see the Friday freak out. And it may be me just like yelling and talking about how stupid this is, or so might be like talking trash about LeBron or the refereeing or something like that. It'll be really fun. It'll be funny at least. Okay, let's see. Darren's saying soften them up. He's also saying Sixers, then Heat, then Bucks, then Suns, and then Pascal Finals MVP. What Darren is saying here is the path towards getting a championship. And what I want to do on Thursday this week is called the Thursday Think Tank. We're going to have our first episode. We're going to look at all the brackets and where everybody is, and we're going to devise and scheme a way that the Raptors can win the 2022 Larry O'B trophy and what the path is towards that. So look for that this Thursday on my regular time for the stream. We're going to do the Thursday Think Tank, first episode ever. We're all going to be talking about designs and ways for us to get to that championship, the path that we want to take and how we can get there, hopefully, depending on how the brackets are. We're going to look at it and figure it out. And I like what Darren's saying there. He's already thinking about it, and we don't even know what the brackets are. Raymond Jacobs saying, I don't understand. Reggie went to Blazers for what? One game? They're not even in the playoffs. Well, they're in the play-in, right? They're in the play-in, I believe. They just needed somebody, and it's good for him. It's probably more money. It's probably maybe like ingratiating him more into their franchise, and that he may end up getting a real roster spot with them next season. I know it's not very good timing in some ways, and it does kind of hurt the 905. But like I said, that's a testament to Patrick Mutombo and his. That's such a team that's in flux. A G League team, especially with this season and how many players were getting called up, is such an influx kind of thing. Like we had people like Jody Meeks come through at different times. We had that little guy Rousey at the beginning of the season. It's just we've had so many different guys play for the 905 over the season. But I think we'll be all right. It's going to be good. But yeah, it does. It's kind of weird. They just really needed him to get to the very end. And it could be they had nobody playing and that they needed him that badly. Darren saying, yeah, Friday ref freak out. Yeah, it may be the refs. It may be LeBron. It may be some journalist who wrote some hit piece or some bullshit, stuff like that. Like right now, I just read like some idiot ESPN writers rookie rankings, and he's got Scotty at third still. And he's saying Cade Cunningham is the rookie of the year. And that will be a Raptor freak out right there. Oh, yeah. Like on Friday, a Friday freak out where I just go off on these motherfuckers who are not giving Scotty his due for rookie of the year. And it's just egregious at this point. Like, come on, man. Why the fuck are you picking Cade Cunningham at this point? These people are so fucking proud. He even said in his one part, the one knock on the one thing that discounts Scotty from this is his shooting. I'm like, motherfucker, have you been watching his shooting? His shooting is fine. So it's like you can't say that is his one weakness at this point because his shooting is fine. So, oh man, I'm gonna save it. I'll have a Friday freak out on something. If Scotty Barnes does not win Rookie of the Year, I will do a Friday freak out on it, and I will freak the fuck out on everybody about that. Everybody who didn't pick him. Oh my gosh, Jimmy Pope saying, "Oh man, just imagine the Raps went on a Cinderella run. I mean, anything can happen. That's the truth. Anything can happen. You take it each game by game. You take it each play by play, and you just try and make winning plays at every time that you can. You keep working with your team. You have the same kind of team play and plan that we've had all season that has worked and done great things for us. That is how we'll do it. We just got to be smart, take it time by time. Don't get scared, stay together and execute. And we will do way better than people think because we've got the really good building blocks of a championship team in our team already. And we're starting to see major play, big time play in late game clutch moments from guys that are really good. And we have a couple of them like Pascal and Fred can do clutch stuff, and they haven't had to in the last couple of games. It's been Gary and Scotty and people like that and Thaddeus. So these are really good things, really, really good things. Monique's saying apparently Fred plays tonight via Aaron Rose. That sounds right. I think that they're saying that both him and OG should be playing tonight. It'll be interesting to see who's in or out. Like, let me go look at that real quick. All right, well, let's do the injuries real quick. Let me look at New York for y'all first because New York is really fucked up. I'm not going to lie. Like, they're a lot like the last team we just played, Houston, where they have shut down all of their vets. So none of these guys will be playing today. Nerlens Noel is out. Mitchell Robinson is questionable, but I doubt he'll play. Miles McBride, day-to-day. Quentin Grimes is questionable today. RJ Barrett's already shut down for the season. We will not see RJ Barrett today. Derrick Rose is shut down for the season. We will not see him. Julius Randle is shut down for the season. He is not going to be here today. Cam Reddish is not playing today, and Kemba Walker is not playing today. So you figure it out. That's pretty much all their important vets are all shut down for the day. And when you go look at their roster of who's available after all that, you see names like this. They got Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, Taj Gibson, Jericho Sims. That's it. Ryan Arkin, Dina Kono. people like that. So really are playing like the Knicks B team today. So let's go ahead and get 49 wins for the season. It doesn't matter for our seeding whether we win or not, but it is good for our record. We want to have as best a record as we possibly can, and we want to have the flex of our muscle memory of winning. And that means don't take this game lightly. Go out there and just get the win. Don't fuck around, Raptors. So on our side of things, this is what we're seeing right now, officially. And of course, we know that this could all change as the day goes on. Right now, OG is listed as questionable for today, but I've heard so much that he's going to play today, and Fred's day today, but I've also heard that he's going to play also. So I fully expect those guys to play and other guys to get added to the list. It could be that they rest Pascal today. Why not? Or something like that. But then again, like Nick said, he asked these guys on Friday, who wants to sit, who's tired, doesn't want to play. And every single one of them raised their hands saying they wanted to play. So these guys are not lazy fucks. They want to get in there and get time in still and not coast right to the end. They want to play it out, and they're all about it. Oh yeah. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, "Oh yeah, Jimmy, it feels like Christmas. What are we gonna get?" Oh yeah, I want to see what happens with the matchup. I really do kind of hope it's Philadelphia because I got this whole great Ben Franklin story going. But I will switch out Ben Franklin for a stupid little leprechaun if we have to. We'll see what happens by the end of the day. Yeah. Blazers are the 13th seed. I thought they were in the play-in, but I guess they didn't get in. I don't know what's going on there. Let me see. Oh yeah, they didn't make it. You're right, Raymond. I should just trust you. You know what? That's the thing. It's like it's good for Reggie's future, is what it is. It's like, these guys don't want it. They want to get called up and get more footing in the professional league, and that's why he's there and stuff like that. And it's not like Portland's trying to hurt us or anything. It's just that this is a guy that they've called up with contracts throughout the season. Like he came up and played for Portland earlier in the season, and they're just having him come back right at the end. So yeah, it is a little annoying. I agree with that, Raymond Jacob, because he would really help us for sure try and get this G League championship. Jimmy's saying, I'm already expecting Scotty not to win it because people probably haven't even watched him play. Yeah, I mean, I hated reading this ESPN thing that I just read like just before I went on air this morning. I'm like, who the fuck is this Mike Schmitz or whatever the fuck his name was? I hate that he's saying this, Mike Schmitz. You fucking putting him at third. You're so fucking wrong. Who the fuck? Cade Cunningham's playing for what at this point? Fuck that guy. He's the number one pick, but our guy's going to be the best player in this draft. And he even wrote it in his write-up. But a lot of people are saying, and this is probably true, that Scotty Barnes will end up being the best player from this draft. So fucking give him Rookie of the Year, you piece of shit. I'm so sick of these fucks, the way they discount our guy or they put him down. This guy's going into the playoffs. He's going to be playing meaningful games. And what the fuck is Cade Cunningham going to be fucking doing after today? Nothing. He's going to be going home. So, this is bullshit. This is such fucking bullshit by ESPN and their media bullshit machine. Stop discounting Scotty Roy. He is the Roy. He is the Roy boy. You give him that Roy, God damn it. All right, let me see what's going on also with you guys. Darren's saying only one NBA award that matters. We know which one that is. That's that Larry O.B., that one that that crew got over there that's sitting next to Drake's head on that piece of art on my wall there. Oh, yeah. Let's see. MK's here. Good morning, MK's. Good to see you. Scotty hit the shots that matter. He's the clear Rookie of the Year. This guy is doing clutch stuff at the end of the season. He's finishing stronger. He has not faded away. He's not injured and sitting out like Evan Mobley right now. He is involved in big plays at the end of the game right now, and he is not faded. He's come on stronger at the end of the season. So come on, ESPN, get your fucking foot out your ass and fucking get this shit right. Come on now. You're pissing me off. I might have to do a Friday freak out on this shit this week. Oh, yeah, I'll build it up and I'll get some nice toasty one-liners and I'll be toasting them good. Ooh, with all this kind of stuff. I don't know when they're going to announce who the Rookie of the Year is, but if they do it this week and it's not Scotty Barnes, that's what the Friday freak out is going to be about. I'm going to unload on them. Oh, yeah, I will. Oh, yeah, I will. Darren's saying, let the voters ignore us. Chip 2022, shut them all up. That's right. This is what I keep saying. If you're not going to give him the Rookie of the Year award, he might get hungry for another trophy. And that might be that Larry O'B. So y'all better just fucking feed the beast before it gets out of control for you. And you realize you fucked up because you didn't pick him as Rookie of the Year. Just feed the beast before he goes and takes his whole league to school. Because you know he's coming back next season. He's going to start taking all y'all to school and dominating your ass. So you need to fucking give him the respect right now and give him that Rookie of the Year. Oh my gosh. It's about 9:05. I like that name. That's really cool. We need to have better starts. It'll be harder to come back from the big early deficits in the playoffs. I completely agree with this. This has been an Achilles heel for us this season, but it's also kind of like weird way that we're powerlifting or something. Like, oh, let's make it really tough. Let's put that extra 50 on both ends. Make it really hard for ourselves. But yeah, I totally agree with this. You cannot do this in the playoffs, especially if we're going to be facing the Celtics. That would be really bad. But with the Sixers, in some ways, I can say, yeah, we could probably start a little shitty and still come back and beat them. But with the Celtics, no. If we get that Boston matchup, we have to be on point 48 minutes of every single game, and we have to be on top of everything as far as like playing really hard and well and not letting them get out to runs. This is something that they're really, really not going to do in the playoffs. I promise you. I really hope I'm right. If I'm wrong, then fuck, I'm going to be like, ah. But I really hope that they do take this very seriously and think about this and the preparation and what they're trying to do when they start the playoffs next Saturday. That you're exactly right. It's about 9:05. They cannot do this, what they've been doing lately, like what they did to Houston recently. They can't do this kind of shit. These are good teams, and this atmosphere is so much harder to climb back and get over the hump and do what we've done throughout the season about coming back on teams. You don't want to do that. Let's play from on top or just slightly behind. Like if we're within them, like within like 4 or 5 points for most of the game, and then we overtake them at the end, that's great. Because sometimes it's hard to run the whole game with the lead just slightly above. That's tiring. And then the team that's kind of been underneath, this is what Miami did to us in that game last Sunday. They were just underneath us, and then they picked their time and they jumped over us near the end. And if we do that as a team, like where we're losing like maybe by 5 for most of the game, but then at some point in the third quarter, we turn it on and we flip it over and we take the lead and hold it for the last bit of the game, that's good too. But none of this double digit shit. Like they can't have like a 12-point lead on us. That's too much. So you've got to be like 10 or less. And that is it. Because we can make that up. But the other stuff is really hard to. Jimmy Pope saying, I'm just so happy about this year, regardless of the outcome. I am too. We should be really thankful and grateful for such a great, fantastic year in all kinds of different ways. That the future is super bright. But let's be greedy. Let's be greedy. We've set the bar a little higher. Each time we overachieved where we were supposed to be, and we wanted to get out of the play-in, we got a regular playoff spot. Let's go for it, baby. Let's get this first round, and let's keep putting that bar up higher as we achieve and succeed. And I really feel like we could do some major noise and cause some real problems for other Eastern Conference teams in the playoffs and do really well. Monique's saying, let's make Embiid cry again. Jeez, everybody loves seeing Joel Embiid cry and stuff like that. Hey, okay. If they're losing, that's fine with me. All right, let's see. It's about 5 is saying Jimmy's so true. Darren's saying, yes, Mo, him and Kyle, Giannis, and Booker, make them all cry. Darren, I'm so glad you're back with us regularly again. I missed you in the middle of the season when you've been busy and doing your own thing. I know you've been a busy guy, but you've always been here with us in our heart, even when you haven't been here and stuff. I'm so glad to see you regularly again, though. It's about 9:05 saying, yeah, I agree. Letting voters ignore. Yeah, it's just bullshit. It's just absolute bullshit. I don't want to talk too much about the Rookie of the Year thing until it happens, and we'll see what happens. But maybe Scotty can go out with a bang today on Madison Square Garden court in a big way. There's a lot of eyes on him there. This is the day today where Scotty can come out there and just do something badass. Like if Scotty got like 40 to 50 points tonight, it would really make them have a hard time not picking him for Rookie of the Year. I would have to say seriously, because It's just making me so mad that I see rankings still that aren't giving him his respect that he deserves and stuff like that. So Raymond Jacobs saying, just make everybody PC happy and make Barnes and Mobley both take it. I'm totally fine with that. They're both awesome. Two winners, yay, nay. I'm for with this too. Like rookies of the year is going to be fine in this season. I just don't understand why people are pushing Cade so strong right at the end. Like seriously, this is not. This should be, as far as things, it should have been a two-man race between Mobley and Barnes because they're the two that are on teams that matter, and then also because Mobley got hurt recently, and Cleveland's faltered and fallen below us. We're like two teams ahead of them now. There's no fucking argument for Mobley over Barnes at this point. So now they're trying to push Cunningham overall on top. And that's the fucked up thing about it. But I am totally fine with co-rookies of the year, with Scotty Barnes being one of them at least. And I don't give a shit which the other one is. It could be Cade or it could be Evan Mobley. It's just Scotty needs to be one of those co-rookies of the year. And if he isn't, fucking shit, man, I will actually maybe get out in the streets and riot. It's like that's how I feel about it. I know a lot of you guys feel about it the same way. They don't want no rioting in Canada because of this. Come on now. All right, let's keep going. Monique saying must make your free throws in the playoffs. Very important. They did a good job against Houston in the last game. Hopefully this continues. Nick Nurse penalize these guys if they're not making their free throws in games, whether it's like a swear jar thing where they have to put money in when they miss free throws, or they have to do suicides in their next practice when they don't make free throws. They got to do a bunch of suicides or stuff that they don't like to do in practice, up and down the court or something like that. You got to make them want to really make those free throws and concentrate and do a good job there. And this is going to be super important. This is another Achilles heel. It's kind of like we're going down the list of things we need to watch out for from our roster and our way we played this year. Not starting well and letting them get a lead, like 905 said. And then also this one that Monique's brought up is making the free throws so crucial in the playoffs. Darren saying, yes, Ray, but we know Scotty's better. And Mo, that's a key to win these closer games for sure. Scotty's 1,000 times better. I love that Raymond Jacobs saying that. It is true. It is true. All right, let's keep going. Darren's saying it was a great season when Pascal shut up all the haters. Oh my gosh, that's just one of the highlights. I'm sure we'll do a year in review at some point this offseason. I don't want to do it too soon, but we'll go over all this. Paul B was kind of already rolling it out the other day. He was just hitting me, bombarding me with moments from this past season. I loved it, Paul, but we'll save that for the one when we do this year in review. I might need you to remind me of some of the stuff you were putting out there that day. It was awesome. Jimmy Pope saying, I love how we're ending our regular season at MSG. Poetic. Yeah, that is really poetic and stuff. And it's weird that we haven't seen the Knicks in a long time. We saw them a lot at the beginning of the season, and this is going to be the first time in a bit, and they're way different than when we saw them early in the season. They were a darling. They were a team that they thought were going to make some noise in the Eastern Conference this year, and it just never did work out that way, did it? And, Knicks fan is just like feeling like they normally feel about their team and stuff like that right now. Darren saying COVID and work got me too weak to make every freak show. Didn't miss a game though. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. See, you had it too this season, and you had a lot of work. I remember you had to travel a bit in the middle there and different things and stuff like. Plus, man, you're 12 hours off from us. It's got to be a totally different part of the day with you dealing with watching me in Jakarta. It's 10 p.m. right now where you're at right now and stuff like that. So it's kind of a weird thing. Tom Duke's sipping his early morning tea in BC, and meanwhile, you're having your late night nightcap, getting ready to go to bed and stuff like that. So I see it's all good, man. It's all good. Monique's saying, as always, Lex, me and you know this too well. No one expected us to be here. And look, as Masai says, what playing? What playing? We're in the playoffs. We're going to play. We're the 5th seed. We just missed one spot off from what I said, 4th seed. We'll be the 4th seed in the East. And I was like, it's just close enough. Very close enough. Almost right. You're right, Monique. We just believe. And when we believe, we achieve. And that is what happened today in this season also. Oh my gosh. Jimmy Pope saying, I knew Scotty was special defensively when he shut down Jokic in the 4th. Yeah, so many different accomplishments assignments Scotty had individually in different games, with getting different defensive assignments, doing really big badass plays at the end of games, whether it's tip-ins or getting a block or a steal or a big rebound sometimes, and very important stuff. Jimmy's saying special in general. Crazy to think we could have chose someone else. Yeah, that was a real bullet we dodged. And listen, like I said in a couple of the live streams recently, Masai and Bobby did their homework. They didn't fall for the NBA's line of we should take Jalen Suggs, and thank God. Think about what this season would have been like if we had had Jalen Suggs instead of Scotty Barnes. I don't think we'd be in the playoffs, to be honest, guys, to a degree. And that's something that the NBA Rookie of the Year voters need to realize, that if we had Jalen Suggs right now, I don't think we'd be where we are. And that is the kind of impact that Scotty Barnes has had on our team as a rookie this year. So give this man his trophy, goddammit. You're pissing me off. All right, let's see. Darren's saying 45 plus wins, fourth place. That's his prediction. Damn Pistons. He's still blaming the Pistons. I kind of agree. And yeah, I mean, they're going to go for 49 tonight. That's fantastic, but not the fourth place. But that's okay. Fourth, fifth, whatever. It's very close. Monique's saying Scotty over everything. I love that. I have my North over everything shirt on. Yeah, and Jimmy's saying just shows that trust that Nick has. Nick had a lot of trust in Scotty. I'm just saying Jalen Suggs wouldn't have been successful. He would have been like a Svi. He probably would have been like sitting on the bench like Svi was this season. And that's your first round pick, fourth pick in the draft. That's not good enough. You don't want that. You want something better than that. Kareem Thomas is here. As Kareem's awesome. I love you, Kareem. I want Scotty to insert himself early and often like he did in both Laker games. He needs to make a lasting impression and put the discussion to rest. 30 points, 15 boards, 10 assists. Who get his triple-double? Scotty, yeah, go out there and get a triple-double on the last day of the regular season and really put the pressure on the voters for Rookie of the Year. Show them that last big shebang on the biggest stage of them all in the NBA at the Mecca, Madison Square Garden. You will have eyes on you today if you do a big game tonight. So be great, go out there and take this award. You have to do it yourself. You come out there and you make them have to give you the award, Scotty Barnes. So have a big game today against the New York Knicks. And we know you can. We know you will. Just go out there and do it. And he's right. Start early. Go ahead and don't have this 1 for 5 first half. Go ahead and get out there and get rolling and roll through the first half and the second half and fuck around, and maybe you'll get 30 points and do something crazy like what he's saying, getting a triple-double, because he's very, very capable of doing that. Jordan, UConn is here. Hey, shout out from Toronto. Shout out back to you from Toronto. Leslieville's in the house over here. Yeah, Leslieville. Oh, okay. I love it, Jordan. Wherever you are in the 6 today, baby, I want to talk about, I'm so Toronto, baby, that I got COVID on the 6th wave. I waited 2 years and stayed in my apartment, didn't get COVID. I waited till the 6th wave in Toronto in the 6th to get COVID at the Kyle Lowry return game. That is how Toronto and Raptor I am, baby. I got COVID on the 6th wave going to the Lowry return game. That's so crazy. That's so Toronto. Oh my gosh. I'm feeling better, obviously, because I'm laughing. Raymond Jacobs saying that, Jimmy, for me, I knew Scotty was special the moment he judo flipped Jared Allen. That's right. I forgot about that move because he did that's a big dude. And he was showing his strength in that moment for sure. Oh my gosh. Callie's here. Good to see Callie. Good morning, Callie. Come out strong at the Garden. Yes, Callie has been a big champion for this start strong, get the lead right away kind of mentality. And I think tonight we'll be in good shape. Listen, this is not a Knicks team that's anywhere near what the Knicks were at the beginning of the season. And we took care of that Knicks team way back then. And now we're rolling. And now they're basically just having whoever's left around that they don't mind playing at this point. Because all their regulars are shut down. As I said, no Julius Randle, no RJ Barrett, no Derrick Rose, no Mitchell Robinson. None of these guys are going to be there tonight. So we're going to be really playing their young New York Knicks that aren't as good. So we need to kick their motherfucking ass. Oh, yeah, we do. Oh, yeah, we do. I don't know what Jimmy's laughing at, but I'm glad he's laughing. And Tom Duke's saying JoJo or Tatum's crying and sucking his soother. Oh, he's got the tea. Either works for me. Also, it is true. I get excited every morning for coffee and Lex's rant. It's a great way to start my day. That's awesome. Yeah, because I got to remember, you're on the West Coast, so you're 3 hours earlier than us. So it's like 7 in the morning for you right right now. That's pretty cool. And I really feel grateful that you watch so early sometimes, Tom, because sometimes I'm on at like 8 in the morning. So that means it's like 5 for you. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Jimmy's saying all ball too. Solstice 99. Good to see a new name here every morning, doing a live stream between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern time. At some point, I jump in for a window and we just talk Raptors. I hope you'll come and join us. Hit that red subscribe button, Solstice. Sounds good. Sounds good to me if you hit that red button, baby. Woo! All right, Darren's saying, glad we get to scream at TV for playoffs. I'm so ready for the playoffs. Let's go. Yes. This is something I want to talk about this week, about how appreciative we should be that we are getting postseason action, how this has gone way better than any of these stupid experts thought, and that we deserve it. And it's going to be fun to plan this week. Like, I'm actually really excited about doing what I do on this channel to prepare for our playoff series, because I'm going to take this serious like the team does with their phone book and their, Nick Nurse recently said that around the All-Star break, each one of his assistants get paired off and they have to watch every single game by certain Eastern Conference teams that could possibly be our opponents in the playoffs. So they watch every single game and they get together the big phone book of material to give to the team about that team. So it's like the phone book for the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers is looking like the phone book we're going to need this week. And like I said, I don't know which one of the assistants, maybe it was Earl Watson, it was one of the other guys like Nathaniel Mitchell, or any of these guys who got these teams. They've been compiling the information and looking at these teams very closely for the last half of the season. So that's how he does it. He was talking about this the other day, and I was like, oh, this is really cool and interesting to hear how our team prepares for the playoffs and gets this information together. That each one of the assistant coaches takes like 2 or 3 teams that may possibly play the Raptors in the playoffs, and they do a whole big research project. It's almost like Nick Nurse is a teacher. He says, your book reports are due, bring them in, assistant coaches, and then they show and they share the information. So that's really cool and interesting to have that inside look into how they do it, which was cool. I didn't know that until a couple of days ago when they were talking about it. All right, Monique's saying Rodman 2.0 did a great job. Payday soon. Come Chris. Yeah, I love that you call him Rodman 2.0. And he did. He posted more Rodman clips on his Instagram just a couple of days ago. Chris is a badass. Give him money, Bobby Webster. Keep him in our fold. You know he wants to play with us. You see the friendship and the connection that him and Pascal have right now with their tea sipping at the beginning of the game. They're like, tea, tea, tea. They're doing the Tom Duke before the game. They're like, ooh, tea, tea. It's so good. But these guys are buddies. And I don't think Chris wants to play for anybody else. I think he'll be very fair with the number that he wants for his contract. And then he'll just stay in the fold. And that he's happy here. He's got a role. It's this kind of thing where if he goes somewhere else, he's a weird guy. He may not fit in another team. He may not have exactly the right people helping him out and being supportive towards him for him to be successful somewhere else. So Chris, please, in negotiations this summer, really, really favor staying with us, because we want you back here as fans. And I know the team probably does too. And we need to just keep you here because you're a great part of our roster and somebody that we love having on the Raptors. So please stay, Chris. Please, please. Let's see. Raymond Jacobs saying, Lex, did anyone else close to you get COVID? Is your girlfriend okay? Yeah, she's fine. It's weird. She came to the game with me, and she avoided it somehow. And she wasn't with me that long afterwards. She went home, and I got it in the days after that. And she's been tested a couple times, so she's fine. And other than that, I haven't been around anybody else. I've basically been a homebody. I work from home. So I'm basically here. I do the live stream and then I just do my work in the same room that I'm sitting in right now. And I get my groceries delivered and do different things like that. So I'm not out there among everybody. So no, I haven't been near my 99-year-old grandmother. I haven't been near my girlfriend all week. And stuff like that. I did get close to my super, though, the other day after I did the stream yesterday, and I was yelling at him. I was like, shut the fuck up outside the door, this door behind me, because they had the phone. They were fixing a lock on the door outside of here, and one of them had the phone ring, and I was like, this is distracting. So I yelled at him, and then I got off of here, and he's like, why are you yelling at me? I was like, well, I'm recording in here. I'm doing a live stream. And then he was like, we were yelling at each other a little bit. My landlord and I have a weird relationship. We know known each other for a long, long time. And we just like, we're very truthful and honest. Like we yell at each other. I'm like, well, fucking move out. You fucking move out. And we were doing that for a little bit yesterday. When I was like, then it turned around to be like, I want to take you to a Raptors game. He's telling me that. And he's like, come here. And he knows I have COVID. He's like, I want to give you a hug. So it's like weird because like we butted heads and yelled at each other for like 5 minutes. But then at the end, we're like, we want to go and smoke a joint together and go to the Raptor game. And he's hugging me and he knows I have COVID. I'm like, you know, I have COVID. He's like, I don't care. Come here. He's like, I'm like, what the fuck? So maybe my super got COVID from me. I don't know, but that was his choice. He wanted to hug me after we got in a fight. So whatever. It's hilarious. It's so weird. But yeah, that's basically it there, Raymond Jacob, as far as like nobody's been near me. I'm staying away from everybody. I'm in lockdown quarantine. And yeah, I'm not fucking around with that. I don't want to get other people sick. That was my landlord's crazy wanting to hug me with COVID and shit like that. Why? I'm like, you know, I have COVID. I don't care. Here, all right, fine, fuck it. G saying looks like Jaylen Brown is not vaccinated. That's what I'm hearing. This is the craziest thing to me. That like this could be a huge issue for the Celtics if we face them in the first round. And Celtics fans are going to hate us so much for this. They're going to hate Canada. They're going to say all this crazy shit. But fuck it, man. That's their fault. That's Jaylen Brown's fault for different things. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Jaylen Brown? I thought you were a smart guy. Like, out of you and Tatum, you're the one I like. You're the one that I'm like, ooh, this guy's good. He's a guy I would love to have on the Raptors, but maybe not. Maybe he's a knucklehead, and I didn't even realize it. And this may prove it. Like, I honestly feel like at this point, I understand everybody's got their reasons for maybe not getting vaccinated or not. But like, listen, this is such a bigger thing than something like this, Jaylen Brown. This is the championship aspirations. This is different things like that. So this is kind of fucked up that this is going to mess you up in this kind of way. So I don't know. Hey, if he's one of the unvaccinated, he can't come to Toronto, so be it. That's just the rules. And they knew that this was what it was. And so that's that. That's all I got to say about it. And they can whine and cry and say woulda, coulda, shoulda, but this is the rules and this is how it is. And that's just how it is. It's that way for us to come and play there. All of our guys are vaccinated. So that's just what's up. Callie's saying, yes, Darren, screaming at the TV is my thing. Great stress release. Yeah, just like neighbors start calling numbers. They're like, somebody's yelling next door. I hope they're okay. I love that shit. G saying he wouldn't comment on it. See, that's the thing. They left it wide open. We realize now from the Philadelphia game this week that Thibault was the guy on their team that they're saying can't play here, and he's not going to get vaccinated. And you saw in the game afterwards, the Sixers started Danny Green in his place. So they're getting ready for playing without him. And they were getting ready to play us without him. So Danny Green's got his starting spot now. And like Thibault may not be a very important player to them in the first round if we play them. So if on the Celtics, that guy is Jaylen Brown, wow. That's like their second best player. They're fucked. Like Jaylen Brown better have a vax in him if they're playing Toronto. Because if they don't, we're going to fuck y'all up. I'm sorry. We're going to fuck y'all up so bad if you don't have both Brown and Tatum. And that's just how it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, Darren saying, rants, freaks, are you not entertained? Are you entertained? Have I not entertained you? MK saying Tibbs winning Coach of the Year last season shows how biased the NBA is. If Scotty doesn't win Rookie of the Year, it's because he plays in Toronto. I agree with this completely, MK. If Scotty Barnes does not win the Rookie of the Year, it's only because he played for a Canadian team. You fucks, you fucking NBA fucks. You need to fucking give him his kudos. Oh my gosh. If I have to do a Raptor freak out on Friday freak out on this shit, I will be going off. And what it's going to be is basically, I'm not going to look at y'all's comments and I'm just going to go off for like 5 to 10 minutes, just like cussing and just ranting like you guys like, and just like going off. Like it may be like Chev. A little bit like NBA Chev, where I'm just going off and I'm throwing in like homilies, similes, metaphors, all kinds of bullshit just to fucking fuck them up verbally because they fucked up and they didn't give Rookie of the Year to Scotty Barnes. So I hope I don't have to do that Friday freak out because I will if he doesn't win. But if he wins, then hey. But you're right. Tibbs winning the Coach of the Year last year was kind of fucking stupid. Like looking at their year this year and how much they fell apart and shit like that. G saying Sports Illustrated is giving their vote to Scotty. Not sure if they have an actual vote. And the score is giving it to Scotty as well. That's good. That's good. I think this Sports Illustrated, a couple of people for them have votes, but I'm not sure who or what and stuff like that. I don't know, man. They're making it cloudy. It could be that we're hearing that the people like the one I just talked about on ESPN, Mike Schmitz or whatever the fuck that fucking Schmutz or whatever. He is probably one of these last kind of voices crying out, trying to stop Scotty from getting it and influence minds by putting out his bullshit article this morning. And that maybe they see that it's futile because a lot of the voters are actually going to think for themselves and go pick who they think should actually win it. And that's Scotty Barnes. And we're seeing that more and more. I mean, if you're an old school NBA fan, you pick Scotty Barnes because he is that old school homage jukebox. He's that guy who hit that baby hook like Magic Johnson. He's doing that hop jump just like Dirk Nowitzki. He's doing the Kawhi back down and I'm going to fuck you up in the little post like with my big, huge, giant hands and just put it in over you kind of stuff. And that's the thing. Real ones, people that actually watch the NBA, people that love the sport, people that love the game are going to vote for Scotty Barnes because he is that kind of guy over those other two guys. And they will. And it could be that these are just the last loud pipsqueaks trying to stop that from happening because they're part of that establishment holding us down and discounting Canada. And they were like, well, no, it's got to be Kate Cunningham. He's Kate Cunningham. They know that people, maybe the real voters, are actually going to all put Scotty Barnes' name down. So I'm hoping that you're right, G, and that we see more and more people setting it up for us. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see. We got some more people here. Let's see. Some new people. All right, who's this? AZ Cards, Phoenix Suns. Oh, God. Okay, we got a Suns fan here. I like this. Suns, I got a lot of respect for your team. You had a great year this year. And Chris Paul's been one of my favorite players for a long, long time. I'm going to tell you that right now. Suns clap the cheeks of any team in a 7-game series. Whole NBA is frauds except Suns. Ooh, this is good. He's talking shit to us already. Like, wait a second. You think we're a favorite to come get you in the finals? Ooh, I love that, Suns fan. Come talk to us, please. You just legitimize us as a contender. Thank you. They are in their own tier by themselves. Suns equals 2022 champs. Now, listen, you're doing a little bit of a LeBron here. You're already anointing yourself a little too early. And the other thing I will say about this, you sound insecure, Suns fan. Why the fuck you got to come in here and project all this? You should have an air of confidence. That doesn't mean you have to go into other teams' channels and say this kind of stuff. Listen, I won't disagree with you. You are on a tier of your own. Your record this year was your franchise record best, 60-something wins. Congratulations. And honestly, I have a lot of respect for y'all, but we did come into your house and beat you in your own court. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. And we are one of the few teams that did play very well against you in some way. So maybe in a way you're preemptively saying, ooh, we will beat you. But why are you coming so early? You could at least wait until the Eastern Conference Finals and you could see who might come and see you. But also nothing's guaranteed for you over on the other side. Yes, you did very well and you got to the finals, but you better hope to God that you don't have no Scott Foster involved in any refereeing for your important games because you know he will fuck you guys over because of his grudge against Chris Paul. So listen, Suns fan, I'm glad you're here. I hope you hit subscribe. But listen, we're a little too early and you're looking a little like insecure. Just because you're here already talking to us. But thanks for giving us some cred and say, wow, we got to go talk to Raptor fan and talk to them because we are worried about him on the down low from far away. That's really weird. But listen, I'll give you y'all's flowers. You're the number one team in the NBA this year. Congratulations. That doesn't always translate to championships. We know this. And listen, in some ways, I wanted y'all to win last year because I do want Chris Paul to win a championship. I have a lot of affection for the dude. I think he's a badass. To me, he's like Western Conference Kyle Lowry. And there's so many things I like about him. I like a lot of y'all's players. I think Ayton is a fantastic player, somebody that I would love to have on the Toronto Raptors. And Devin Booker, I got to respect the work he's put in on his game to get better and better year in, year out. There's a lot of things about the Suns I like. I don't hate y'all. In fact, I respect y'all a lot, and I want y'all to do well. Go ahead, get your side and meet us in the finals. We love that, a finals with the Raptors and the Suns, but you're here a little early. a little early and you're looking a little insecure. So maybe you should go talk to Dallas fan. Maybe you should go talk to Utah fan, Denver fan, whoever the fuck is on your side before you come talk to us. Because we got other people we got to worry about before you anyway. And we're not even thinking about y'all. In fact, applause, great season. Such a great season. Congratulations. And especially with some of the injuries y'all had at the end of in the middle of the season, missing Chris Paul like that, and y'all not skipping a beat. I am very, very, like, seriously, I respect y'all and I love your team. You're a great team. And in some ways, I wish y'all had not. I'm glad y'all didn't win, actually, in a way, last season, because we wanted Giannis to get his first chip and not be as hungry. Because when Giannis gets one chip, it's so hard to repeat. So hard to repeat. And especially when the Toronto Raptors are actually healthy and in the playoff picture, then it's going to be real hard to repeat Milwaukee Bucks. So listen, you take care of your Western side and see if you get there with us, Phoenix Suns fan, and then we'll talk some shit, okay? Okay? Because, yeah, I got to give you respect. You have the best record in the league, and I love your team, honestly. On the down low, you're one of the Western teams that I really love and I like. But we did also beat y'all in Phoenix this year after we beat Denver also. We beat Denver and you on 2 nights in a row. So we have a little bit of shit we can talk in this moment. Oh, yeah, you're 50-50 with us. Yeah, we beat you. You beat us. 1-1, 1-1. All right, let's keep going. I love this. I was not expecting Suns fan to be here this morning. Oh, my gosh. Suns fan, why are you here? Oh, God, this is so good. Daryl Turner's here. Good morning, my G. What's up, Daryl? What's your opinion on the Knicks trading Randall to Pelicans for Zion? Wow, because the Pelicans want to move on from Zion Williamson. I think that's a great move for both teams, and especially because the Pelicans have been so good this year without Zion. Like, in fact, I think he's such a bust. I honestly think that he's a bust. And why wouldn't you want to ship him to New York? Because that's where busts go to bust. Like, even more busted, bust. So, yeah, I love this trade. I don't think that Randall actually will help them, but I think that it's addition by subtraction for the Pelicans. As far as, like, get Zion out of there, get some other contract, but make things fluid. It's really all about Ingram and Valanciunas and McCollum now. For the Pelicans, they got some badass weapons on that team now. And yeah, New York, fuck up. Go get Zion Williamson because he's a name and all this kind of stuff. And then see him fucking blow up in your face, just like everything else y'all get. Oh, it'll be so funny. I love that. That is pure jokes, Daryl. I love this scenario, honestly. Darren's saying, I think 76ers are bagging a bit. I'm afraid Harden will get on form versus Raps. No, he won't. Come on, Darren. Harden is not, he's washed. He's washed. This man is only worried about when he can get to the strip club and how fast, and if he's playing against us in the first round, he's going to be down at Brass Rail. The game may end at like 10, and then he'll be at Brass Rail by 10:30. I'm telling you, guys, Harden is not somebody we need to worry about. We should respect him as a passer, as maybe a playmaker, but not really to go off and get some crazy amount of points and stuff like that. Like I've said, his track record throughout his long career is that he fades in playoff games. He fades when it matters the most. He does not show up for his team and help them get to the promised land. He goes away and disappears. And I don't expect that to change in any kind of way, especially since he's on a new team with new players that he's just been playing with for a couple months now, and they're not really that gelled yet. And we saw that last week. They're not that gelled. So I don't fear him, and I honestly don't fear Embiid either. Most teams in this league fear Embiid, but the Toronto Raptors do not. So yeah, I'm not going to give Harden that. I'm sorry, Darren. Dwayne B, good to see another name here. COVID, thanks to China and the New World Order. Holy shit, man! Whoa, I'm not that heavy with this. COVID is just something that's developed. There's been bird flu. There's been SARS. There's been different pandemics throughout the history of time. It was Spanish flu 100 years ago. Listen, let's not get our tinfoil hats out here. There's a brand new Primus video that's out this weekend. It's badass. You guys like Primus? Well, they got a new video called Conspiranoia. And that's what we're talking about right here with Dwayne. Yeah, Conspiranoia. Go watch that video. It's awesome. And I'm just saying, listen, I don't blame China for this. I blame just disgusting, like, like bat shit, that whatever the fuck happened. And, New World Order, the thing that I think about with that is Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. And, there's been New World Order this, New World Order that, as far as with George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush, before he coined that phrase in the early 90s and stuff like that. I don't even know what that means anymore. What is the New World Order? Maybe the New World Order is the oligarchy of this continent trying to suck us all dry with a pandemic and make more money and profit at the top. Is that the New World Order? What is the New World Order? I don't know what the fuck it is. Is it a new wrestling faction? I don't know. Anyway, I will say that. Go watch the Primus video. That's my answer to that. Darren saying, laugh out loud, Suns losing in 6 to the Raps. Pascal Finals MVP. Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, Suns, you better watch out for Scott Foster because he's not going to let y'all win nothing. If you get him as a referee in any of your playoff games, you're going to lose those games because that statistically is what happened whenever Chris Paul is involved, because Chris Paul tried to get Scott Foster fired because he was the head of the players union, and Scott Foster found out they hate each other. They absolutely hate each other. And the record that Chris Paul has when Scott Foster referees in the playoffs is 0-12 or something like that. He has never won a playoff game when Scott Foster's involved. And I know that looks shaky and fucked up in some ways, but that is just the damn truth of it. And in some ways, Chris Paul's beef with Scott Foster will hurt the Suns at some point during this playoff. Watch. So we'll see how it all shakes out and stuff like that. I love what Darren's saying. Yeah, we want the Suns, baby. We want whoever the fuck we get at whichever level, because nobody believed in us in 2019. So let's do it again, baby. Let's go in there and put in the hard work and get the matchups right. Listen to Coach Nurse and his great strategic ideas for how we'll play each team, each game, and we can succeed because I believe in our team players. I believe in our coach. I believe in our franchise. I believe in our team president. I believe in our GM. And that's the whole thing. The Raptors are a go, baby. And we are going towards Larry O'B's, and that's where we want to be. Oh, yeah. We want to be with Larry O'B. Oh, yeah. Jimmy thinks it's funny. I think it's funny, too. Kareem saying, what happened to the Suns in 4? I don't know what's going on with Suns fan being here, guys. I really don't. This is so weird. I mean, we've had different fans pop in here at different times. Whether it was a Starscream Nets fan was here earlier in the season. We had a Knicks fan for a little while. It's fun. I like having fans of other teams come in and interact with us. If we have a certain amount of respect between each other, that's great. Like I said, Suns fan, I respect y'all. Y'all are a great team. I actually really love the Suns franchise for many, 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 many years. I have a Suns jersey in the other room that's a Charles Barkley jersey. I was a big fan of Kevin Johnson and Jeff Hornacek and Dan Marley and Tom Chambers and Cedric Ceballos. Those old Suns teams, I love those teams. They were one of my favorite teams. And when you guys were playing the Bulls in the finals, I was rooting for Charles and you guys. Oh, yeah. So Suns fan, you don't have an enemy here. I respect y'all, and you guys are badasses. I'll give you your flowers, all right? All right, let's keep going. Jordan's laughing his ass off. We're getting good entertainment this morning. Oh, yeah. Jimmy's saying, oh, yeah, I'll brace it. Brace it all. Darren's saying the Raptors own space in Booker's head. Okay, Cardinals Suns fan has taken the message away. I was hoping you'd say that. I don't know what you guys are saying. She's saying Suns are cocky now. They were dead last in 2018 and now calling others non-factors. Laugh out loud. Win a chip, then talk. Yeah, when have you guys won a championship ever? Ever? When have you ever won? You have not won a championship. I don't believe you won a championship. I'm trying to think. Did you win one in the ABA? I think you might have won one no, I don't think Phoenix has ever won a championship. We got one, baby. That picture right there shows 2019 Toronto Raptors champions. So there's a little bit of a difference here, okay? And just because everybody discounts the Raptors or sleeps on us, please, Phoenix Suns, we are showing you respect. Come and show us respect as well because we have won a championship and you have not. Oh yeah, I love that. Good job, G. Yes. Dom Daly, another new name. Love seeing new names here. If Boston has players that are not vaxxed, how did they get in the country when we played them? This is a good question, Dom, and I'll tell you exactly why. It's because the country of Canada had a really fucking weird rule at the beginning of the season that they made for sports athletes, and it was partly for the NBA and the NHL, is that they said that the player could be not vaccinated and come over here, but they had to stay in their hotel room the whole time and only come to the game, play in the game, and then leave. And that was fine. But what happened was in January, they changed that rule. They took that special exemption away for athletes. And that's why Thibault was able to play against us in Toronto in November, but not last week, because the law in Canada changed to knock that exemption out, that actually athletes that weren't vaccinated were allowed to travel into Toronto all season until then, and that they changed then. That's why. I know it's confusing to me too, because logically you're like, well, if they already came and played here, why aren't they allowed to play now? It's because the government of Canada clamped down and said you don't get this special exemption for athletes anymore for the NHL and the NBA. And that's why. That's exactly why. It's so crazy. I understand it now more. So it's like Jaylen Brown came and played against us in Toronto already this season. That doesn't mean he can't come here now, because it's the rules changed here in Canada in January or something like that. So there's the pure and simple explanation right there, Dom. And thanks for being here. I hope you'll join me again every day live at some point in the morning. I'll be talking Raptors, and I hope you subscribe and come back. Jimmy's saying, laughing my ass off. 2 seasons of winning basketball got these Suns fans acting different. Yeah, I mean, really, listen, like I said, this just shows insecurity. Like, why are you popping up in here? You're way ahead of yourself. The season, we got one more game tonight. And then, like, there's a first round, there's a second round. You don't need to be worried about Eastern Conference teams right now, Suns. Take care of your business out west first, and then come talk to us then. But this is way too soon. And maybe because you're coming to see us, Raptor fan in particular, that says something like that actually gives us respect. I love this. This is a great development, man. Thank you. I love your team. Your team is badass. I hope y'all get to the finals, and I hope we face y'all in the finals. This would be badass. This would be so good. Thank you, Suns fan, for being here. I love you. Oh my gosh, you're good. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see. Darren saying Pascal finals MVP. I love that. Monique's saying, let's see what superfan Monique is saying. Whoa, it just jumped ahead. I apologize for that. Monique's saying, Lex, if you had to predict Justin Champagne's game tonight, how much does he have? Okay, this is an important game. Delaware Blue Coats. I'd like to say he gets between 30 and 40 tonight, and maybe he gets like 12 to 15 rebounds. That's what I think Justin will do tonight. He's going to get at least 30, somewhere between 30 and 40. And they just need to win. They just need to one and done. So important to win these games and get to that best of 3 for the finals of the G League and stuff like that. So, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Justin will get like somewhere, he'll get over 30 and maybe 12 to 15 rebounds. That's what I'm hoping. Darren saying prediction comes true again. I'm not sure which one, but it's funny. Jimmy Pub saying, imagine getting upset at a mascot talking about Mamba mentality. Yeah, okay, listen. Yeah, we could just bring up the Raptor over and over again for Suns fans since he's here, and what happened in that moment here in Toronto when he waved the Raptor away. It's like, he's fucking with me. It's like there's one person in our arena, and it's the Raptor, and you're fucking, oh my gosh. Like, if we had had 3 fans there and they were all doing some fucked up shit, would you have thrown them all out of the way like that? Oh my gosh. Devin Booker, I like Devin Booker. I'm not going to diss him too much. And I thought that whole incident with the Raptor was hilarious and stuff like that. So, you know, this season's been so fun. There's been so many crazy, fun little moments. You know, actually, while we're talking about the Raptor, why don't we do the real mascot matchup? Oh my gosh, where's Tom Duke? This is what we going. All right, the last time we saw the Raptor, he's with his buddy Ben Franklin, the cosplayer, and they're at a fireworks war, like a fireworks fight, where there's a fireworks display. And Ben Franklin thought he was being funny. He shot a bottle rocket off at the Raptor's face, and it startled him and it pissed him off. So the Raptor goes and takes like a whole clump bottle rockets, and he lights them and he shoots them at Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin thinks he's funny. He's giggling. He's like, woo-hoo, Raptor, woo-hoo, and he's like running. Oh, I'm Ben Franklin, woo-hoo. And he's like, okay. So he grabs a Roman candle. The Ben Franklin grabs a Roman candle and he aims it directly at the Raptor and he starts shooting it at him. And the Raptor's like, motherfucker. He's like dodging it and stuff like that. So he's like, motherfucker. So he goes and he takes like a mortar. Yeah, he takes like one of those big, real like fireworks, like a real big one that shoots up and like, all that kind of shit. And he takes that motherfucker and he aims it right at Ben Franklin, his fucking cosplaying, silly, goofy, pudgy ass. And he's like, oh, what are you gonna do? And the Raptor lights that shit and it fucking hits him. And he goes flying back, and it's like fucking Wile E. Coyote, like Acme shit on Roadrunner cartoon. It hits him, and he's like got black all over his face, and he's like, he blew him up. And Ben Franklin's like, ow, pain, hurts. So anyway, the next part of the fair is they've had their fireworks fun, and the next part of the fair is another very Americana kind of thing because they're at like a cosplay, a colonial cosplay. Ben Franklin's there, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and the next activity is apple shooting. Yeah, they're gonna do apple shooting like Isaac Newton or whoever the fuck, William Tell. I think it was William Tell, where they put the apple on top of the head and you shoot the apple off the top of the head, with the bow and arrow or something like that. So that's the next activity at this weird cosplay, like Americana, like fun fest that's going on. The Raptors palling around with Ben Franklin at, and Ben Franklin's like, you have to shoot the arrow off my head. So he goes over and stands by the tree and he puts the apple on his head, the big apple, if you know what I'm talking about, where the Raptors are playing tonight. And the Raptors got to keep a steady hand and shoot the apple off his head with a bow and arrow. What's going to happen? Is he going to hit the apple, or is someone going to fuck up and hit for Ben Franklin cosplayer? There's your real mascot matchup. There's your update in this fun palling around situation between cosplay Ben Franklin and the real Raptor mascot. There you go. That's for you, Tom Duke. Oh man. Oh, I was cracking myself up on that one. That was a good one. All right. Let's keep going. All right. Excuse me. All right, let's see. Anselm's here. I love Anselm. I think the tide is starting to change with Scotty, and the U.S. media is taking notice. I hope so. Stephen A. Smith is a good sign. Other pundits and people down south are actually championing him and saying it and putting him forth. And that's why I think saying that some of these people that are like, no, not Scotty Barnes. He's Canadian. Azrael. No. These people are freaking out because they see that he may be getting closer to it. So they're really being louder at this point to really try and stop it from happening. And I think that's part of what's happening. ESPN in particular is so awful to the Raptors franchise and discounting us, slighting us, psyops kind of ways that they write their text and their scripts. Whenever they deal with the Raptors, they're always putting in some fucking keywords in there, putting us down in subliminal ways to different people. So fuck you, ESPN, your fucking rookie rankings you came out with this morning, Mike Schmitz or Schmutz, or you schmut fucking piece of shit. We're going to win this award for Scotty. He's going to go out there tonight in the Big Apple on a big stage, and he's going to fuck the Knicks up, and they're going to have to give him the award. They might even have to have it, like if he does so well tonight, they just got to give it to him on the way out when he's walking off the court. Here, just have this, because you're a badass, and you are Scotty Roy. And that's what I'm hoping will happen, Anselm. I really hope that's what happens. But if Scotty has a big game on a big stage like tonight, that'll really help right at the end of the season too, because he didn't like loaf or like take it easy right at the end of the season. He's coming on stronger and stronger as the end of the season comes to the end. And that's badass because like Nick Nurse said the other day, most rookies are struggling just to keep their head above the water at this point in the season. The rookie walls have been hit, and a lot of these guys are not playing at a very high level near the end of the season because they're fucking tired. Well, not our rookie. That's what I'm saying. Y'all pay attention. NBA media, U.S. media, voters for Rookie of the Year, notice that our guy is thriving when other rookies are struggling and they're fading away. our dude is having big plays at the end of games and helping us win games that are close and important. And that needs to count for something. I'm sorry. Daryl Turner saying, I think Pelicans want to trade Williamson because of his huge contract and second round rookie steal power and steal power forward Herbert Jones. What's your opinion on Jones? He's been really good. I haven't paid too much attention to him other than when we played the Pelicans, and he seemed okay. He's like a good, solid, big guy. Whatever. Like I totally agree with Williamson leaving New Orleans. That I think that New Orleans will be better off without him. That's the craziest thing. People may be like, "What?" Like, yeah, because they played so well this season, and without him around. And that's what I'm saying. He comes back, he might fuck them all up because he's not. He's honestly, I think he's a lazy dude. By looking at him coming into training camp and looking so overweight and just not getting his shit together this whole season, I think he's lazy and he'll drag a team down. So yeah, send him to New York. They're real good with these kind of things. They have all kinds of dysfunction. It makes sense. So yeah, I like this deal a lot. I like Jones. He's a good player. He's a solid player. But this season's been so stacked with such great rookies that like I don't even know if he's second team all rookie. Like there's a lot of good rookies this year, but he's definitely a good player. Monique saying, did anyone see the Vince and DeMar interview on ESPN2? I saw that they did the interview. I will go check it out at some point. But yeah, that's pretty cool that seeing two really important Raptors from the history of the Toronto Raptors interact and have an interview together. I think that DeMar could teach Vince a couple things about character and integrity that Vince probably should have learned when he was younger as a player and that he didn't use. Because this is the thing. I look at them as totally different kinds of people. DeMar DeRozan is loyal to the end, even though we screwed him over. DeMar DeRozan is working hard no matter what, all the time. And the Vince Carter, the fact that he did not try on purpose and then admitted it afterwards, that's the absolute opposite antithesis of who DeMar DeRozan is. And that's why, like, I don't have any respect for Vince. Vince is all sizzle, no steak. He was real flashy. He got us on the map. But then, like I said, when he left, he took all that respect away by the way he disrespected our franchise on the way out. So fuck you, Vince Carter. And I love you, DeMar DeRozan. So that's how I feel about that interview right there. And so I'm saying, remember, we stopped the Suns already. Raptors will grind down the Suns in 7. Yeah, you better have all your guys vaxxed, Suns fan, if you're going to play us in the finals. But like I said, he's way too early to be here. This is hilarious. Like, I love this. Thank you, Suns fan, for giving us a good laugh this Sunday morning and giving us some legitimacy. Also, yeah, are you going into the Celtics fans page and doing this too? Are you going to see Sixers fan? I don't know. At least you came and saw us, and you see us as a threat. I love that. Oh yeah. Let's see. Raymond's saying at the Suns fan, Diva Booker will never get a ring. Mamba mentality fraud. Wow. I mean, I won't totally agree with Raymond, but I'm not going to say that you're wrong. And I'm not going to say that, I support my Raptor freaks that are in here and whatever they're saying, so hey, let's see what happens. Tom Duke saying at the Suns fan, your ceiling has started to leak. You were good, but still not bad, but looking like a steep decline is coming. Let's go. Listen, I want the Suns to do well. They've done such a good year, this record-wise, that, like, yeah, they deserve to have a good playoff run. And they made it the finals last year, so not making it to the finals or winning a championship is a failure for them this year. That they actually have a whole ton of pressure on them that the Raptors do not. The Raptors are already gravy, baby. Whatever we do on top of what we're doing now is all way above any expectations anybody had, whether it's my expectations or any NBA experts or ESPN experts and stuff like that, way beyond. But Suns, you still have a lot of pressure on you. You've got to get back to at least what you did last year, if not better, especially since your record was so fucking good this year. So enjoy that pressure. Enjoy that. Because meanwhile, we're loose and we're wild and we can do whatever the fuck we want and it's going to be badass either way. But you guys have a whole big, huge area to fail in. Trust me, Suns fans. So look out. Raymond Jacobs saying also, next time Booker is at Scotiabank Arena, everyone will wear Raptor heads. I think you're right. I think that would be funny, and we should do that. Like, maybe even the Raptors organization for that day could give out, instead of those clappers that they give out, to everybody who's sitting underneath the baskets on both sides, give them all Raptor heads. So they all, like the old school ones, they gave at the beginning of the franchise. At the very beginning, I remember with the first Raptor game I ever went to at the Sky Dome, I bought like this foam Raptor head that you could fit over your head and you see out the head and the mouth. Let's get a bunch of those made again for when the Suns come back to Toronto the next time they play next season, because that'd be fun. And if we get them in the finals, let's do it in the finals this year. Yes, Raptor heads. I love it. I love it. Ansem, thank you. Get those likes up is what he's saying. I want the subscriptions up. Mostly, that's the most important thing to me. But hey, if you like it, if you comment, if you do whatever you want, I appreciate it all. It all helps the algorithm for sure. Tom Duke's saying, so happy we have Spicy instead of a guy like Booker. I'm very happy that we have Pascal Siakam also. Like the more I think about how these guys in the NBA get these huge contracts, like these $100 million contracts, and then they do nothing. They don't work hard anymore. They're just like, I got my money, I'm getting paid, and you show up and play games and stuff like that. That's not who Pascal is. He's working, he's excelling, he's pushing his ceiling higher and higher. And I love that. That's why I trust in Bobby and Masai, because they're putting investment in the guys that are going to be working hard for us, doing it for us, as Pascal says. He's doing it for us. And we continue to do that. That's a badass trait, because sometimes you get that much money, you get to that point, and you just loaf. You just stop trying. And that's not Pascal. He's never going to be that. And that's partly the leadership and what was taught to him by Kyle and DeMar when he came to the Raptors, that he is like them and that Fred and him are like them. And now they can pass it down to guys like Scotty and Precious, and that they get that kind of work ethic and that kind of mentality about being an NBA player also. I love that. That is something that Vince did not have. Getting back to the whole Vince thing I'm talking about, that he didn't get that taught to him by a veteran when he came on our team. Sure, he got taught things by Charles Oakley, Kevin Willis, Antonio Davis, but it wasn't that kind of thing as far as what Kyle and DeMar taught our young Raptors while they were still here. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Let's keep going. Curtis Mahadio. Good to see another new name here every morning at some point live between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. I hope you'll hit subscribe and come back every morning. At Tom Duke, what are your final score predictions of tonight's game? Okay, so the Knicks tonight, like I said, they really shut down for the season. All their vets are out and stuff like that. So I hope the Raptors can get at least a 15-point win tonight. Like, it'd be great if we won like 110-95, something like that, where we get over 100 and we keep them under 100 points. So that's my prediction, 110-95 for the Raptors tonight. That's my prediction right there, Curtis. And thanks for the question. I don't know, Tom, write yours in too. Tom Duke says, I love Primus and Tool. Also, like our friend Paul B., Beastie Boys. So yeah, this is great artist. It was so cool this week. Like, I do my regular music video reviews on Friday. I watch 150 brand new music videos that came out over the last week, and I review them because I'm also a music critic. Like, I worked in radio, FM radio for many, many years. And this is one of my gigs is watching the music videos and reviewing them and writing about stuff like that. So Primus showing up on my list this week was a real joy to see a new Primus video all of a sudden. And not only that, there's a new Pink Floyd video this week. Holy crap. I thought I'd never see any more Pink Floyd stuff. And of course, this song that Pink Floyd put out, this new video, is about Ukraine. It's a collaboration with an artist, a Ukrainian singer who was on tour in the United States with his band Boombox. And then the war broke out and he left his tour and went back to fight against the Russians in Ukraine. And this video is badass because the Ukrainian singer sings in it, but it's David Gilmour on guitar. And I got to say, y'all, David Gilmour, I don't know what age he's at this point, but this man is one of the greatest, most badass blues rock guitarists ever in the history of rock. Like Jimi Hendrix, Edge, Jimmy Page, all these big names as guitar innovators. David Gilmour is the top 5 greatest guitarists of all time to me. And if you see the new Pink Floyd video that's out right now, you will see what I'm talking about. That man has pure, beautiful licks with his guitar and the way he plays that you know what I'm talking about, that Dark Side of the Moon bluesy guitar sound. He is so badass. Go watch both those videos, the Primus video and the Pink Floyd video that came out this week, because they were fantastic. And there's other great videos this week. Weekend, amazing video this week. The Weekend with his new Times Out or Times Up video. That is fucking amazing video and such a good sound. And Alicia Keys killing it, coming out with Slick Rick in her new video this week. So much good stuff. It's actually on my channel page. I do my Lex's Choice 15 videos of the week, and you can go look at them. I got all that stuff in there with the Raptor Freak archive down there. So yeah, I love my music, man. And this was a great week for new music. I'm not gonna lie. Tom Duke's saying Raps are only favored by 5 points. We will win 113 to 92. So he has the same margin as me, basically. I said 110 to 95. He's saying 113 to 92. That's pretty similar to what I said. So Tom Duke and I, we think alike. Great minds think alike. We are waffle enthusiasts, and we love to sip the tea near the window after great Raptor wins. That's Tom Duke and I doing tea. Raymond Jacobs saying, laugh out loud, Yuta will play again and have a 1-hour press show afterwards. Yes. Let them get it in as much as they can. Seriously, because I hope Yuta gets some playoff run, but it may not be that way. He may get some good time tonight against the Knicks, and I hope so. And I hope that he builds on it, and that Takeshi and all the rest of the Japanese media get a long time with him. Yeah, he get like an hour. He got 20 minutes the other day for the Rockets game. Yuta, he's just somebody you got to root for. He's an underdog. He's the kind of guy you just want to succeed, and you want to see him smiling and succeeding. And I want that more and more for him. And I wish and hope that he has a place on a roster in the future, but I don't know. This is going to be really hard to see what happens this summer. We'll see what happens. Monique's saying, can we just take a moment and say congratulations to Nick Nurse when no one had him doing shit except for us? Expect to win is his motto. Yes. Kudos to Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is a mastermind, a genius, a great NBA coach, maybe one of the best NBA coaches in the whole entire league right now. And we should be really thankful and grateful that he is our coach, that he is such a badass. He's so cool in so many different ways. Oh my gosh. And I agree with this. Nick Nurse in some ways is like the next generation Phil Jackson. They're very similar in some ways. Phil Jackson's approach with how he kind of dealt with outside of basketball kind of things with his players, taking them to sweat lodges and doing really weird, giving them books and saying, you study this and maybe you'll get more in tune with your Zen to be able to be a better player. That's how Phil Jackson was. He was kind of on the outside. And Nick Nurse is kind of that way also. He tries to enrich the players' lives outside of basketball in different ways also, whether taking them to the Tupac Museum this season, or doing things like having Cory Booker come in and talk to them as a speaker and things like that. That is really he has that kind of approach to me that's similar to Phil Jackson in that way. Now, their coaching styles on the court is very different, but I'm talking about outside of basketball, the relationship with expanding his players' minds outside of basketball and becoming better people in different ways. That's the kind of thing that I say is very similar to Phil Jackson in some ways. Okay, so let's keep going. Tom Duke saying, watch Nick Nurse play Svi tonight, and he kicks ass. I hope so. I really want Svi to have something good going for him to end the season and stuff like that. The writing's on the wall there with him, too. I mean, he has a player option this summer to come back next season. It's his option, not the team's option. And I could see them just cutting him this summer, unfortunately, and how sad that is and stuff like that. But it's a business. This isn't about feeling good or good feelings and stuff like that. You don't perform, you don't do what you're supposed to do, and then you don't stick around. And that's just the sad reality of the NBA. And too bad. Darren's saying Suns, my new second most hated team, first Pistons. Why? Just because this guy came in here, Darren? Come on, let's not react to him. We hate the Celtics way more than the Pistons and the Suns put together. Come on, Darren. You can't hate this Pistons. They're irrelevant, and the Suns are not even in the picture for us yet. So it's really, we got to hate the Sixers. We got to hate the Celtics. We got to hate the Knicks today, like we normally do. Hey, fuck Brooklyn. We got our Atlantic Division rivalries that we hate. And these are the people that should be number 1, 2, 3, and 4 on your list is Brooklyn, Boston. I say Boston first, Brooklyn, and then, Philly, and then New York. is the kind of the way I look at it right there. Daryl Turner saying, would agree the Raptors are a top 10 center away from a dynasty. I don't even know if we need the center though, Daryl, because in some ways I feel like the center might drag us down like other teams. That part of the reason why we don't have a true center is because it's actually a huge like advantage in some ways. And then when we see Embiid or Jokic and stuff like that, they kill us to a degree, but also in a way they don't. Like, how has Embiid really killed us this year that much in some ways? I don't know. It's a weird thing. I'm not totally sold on this now. At the beginning of the season, for most of the season, I'm like, yes, let's get a center. Let's get a center for sure. But at this point, I'm kind of like, wait, maybe this is part of the design. Maybe this is part of the way that we don't want a slow, clunky guy out there that can be taken advantage of mismatches, like by a guy like Precious Achua. That you have Joel Embiid out there and we kill you when you play him because Precious can go all around him and score every which way on him. So I don't know. I'm not totally. I might agree with you. It may be good to have one just to have for that look if we need it in whatever situation. So yeah, I don't know. And I wouldn't even say a top 10 center. Like it'd be badass. Obviously, we had somebody like Ayton or Cat or something like that, obviously. But also, it's kind of like we're already log jammed with really good talent, and that may not be an area where we want to have salary spent money in. That like we're already kind of let's put the money into our 6'9" Centurions, those guys instead. It's a weird question that I've had to revisit a lot this season. And as the season goes on, more I'm saying maybe we don't need the center. That this is all part of the madness of the whole plan anyway. That Bobby Webster and Masai, and part of the reason why it works is because we're not relying on a big, slower kind of center. That all of our guys are completely mobile. Like Kem Birch is our slowest dude getting around, and that's as slow as we want to get in some ways. I don't know. It's very weird. Anselm saying it's amazing how the Pascal, Freddie, and OG get dismissed as experienced. This is the thing we need to keep throwing in people's faces as Raptor fans. Like, sure, talk about Jason Tatum, talk about Jaylen Brown, talk about Joel Embiid, talk about these fucking big names and their MVP races. None of these motherfuckers have rings. Who has rings? Pascal Siakam has a ring. Fred VanVleet has a ring. OG Anunoby has a ring. Chris Boucher has a ring. And that's what I'm saying, that our guys in some ways are more experienced than a lot of the other Eastern Conference guys. Like, sure, Giannis and the Bucks, they got theirs. But what I'm saying is all these other ones, who the fuck, what have they fucking done? None of them have rings, and we do. And that's one of the things that's fucked up is we don't get that respect for that. And the other thing is that, sure, Kawhi was a big part of our championship year, but who was the second banana? Who was the one who was with him, next to him, with the Jordan and Pippen scoring in the playoffs? Like they did it just as well as Jordan and Pippen together in their playoff run in 2019. That was Pascal Siakam. And too many people are discounting and forgetting how much of a factor he was in our championship run. And that is something that they need to remember because this motherfucker is playing better than he was then, right now. And that he has the experience and the acumen and the time in a finals, in a playoff run, that he has better experience than somebody like Jason Tatum, and to a degree. And that's what I'm saying. Him and Fred need more respect in this. What exactly Anselm's saying right here, that these dudes already have a ring. And who the fuck has a ring on the Eastern side otherwise? Giannis? Sure. But everyone else, none of them motherfuckers have one. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I am saying. Darren's saying, Mr. Suns fan just made me a real hater. Besmirched my name. That don't fly. Listen, I think it's fun that Suns fan came in here and said this. Seriously, it's a good thing. This is a positive development. This guy is not a bad dude. He didn't say anything that was that egregious. He just has real support in his team, just like we have for Toronto. And it's true. They are the best team in the league. They had the best record, and we should be giving them flowers to a degree because they were very dominant over the Western Conference in a way that none of the Eastern teams did in the Eastern Conference. So I give respect to them in that way. And I just think it's more telling, them showing his hand, that he has to come in here and be worried about us and that he's talking shit that way. That just shows insecurity. That's LeBron James insecurity, having to say I'm the greatest of all time for himself, is he's insecure about it. I'm the greatest of all time. You shouldn't have to fucking say that. People around you, the experts and the people that decide this will say that if you are the greatest of all time. When you say it and you give it to yourself, that fucks it all up because it makes you look like needy or something fucked up wrong with you or something like that. And that's what I feel like Suns fan just did is like they're a little insecure in a way. It's really weird. Daryl's saying, will you do an NBA draft 2022 watch party event to see who the Raptors draft? Hopefully a center. I don't know if I'll do actually a watch party, but I will definitely be covering this like in a major way. Who knows? Maybe I will. I'm not sure. We're going to do watch along on Wednesday. We're going to watch the first game of the Eastern Conference semifinals, Philadelphia versus Toronto, 2001. That was the series, Vince Carter versus Allen Iverson. We're going to watch the whole entire game one on Wednesday, y'all. I'll put up the schedule for this week. We have trivia on Tuesday, a watch along on Wednesday. So look for that. We're going to watch a whole playoff game from 2001. And because that's not live, and there's no lag issues. That's part of the problem with me watching a live game or a draft or something like that is I'm going to have a lag of at least 30 seconds behind what you're actually watching. Just because of going through YouTube and also the way that I watch stuff here is usually behind anyway. So that would be part of the problem is that I want you to enjoy it and watch it, but not have like an echo or a weird like back behind kind of thing. And that's what I'm trying to figure out with the logistics of doing live watch alongs, like with possible games and stuff like that. That's a problem because I found that out when I did the All-Star weekend and I did the All-Star game. I did a live watch along during the All-Star game and All-Star Friday night and the slam dunk contest. Well, I didn't do the slam dunk contest because it sucked. But I mean, I did everything that the Raptors were involved in on Saturday night. And it was a lag and it didn't work very well. And that's kind of why I'm leaning more towards not doing live watch alongs, but I'll do a watch along with something that already happened, like that's available on YouTube, like this Sixers Raptors game from 2001 playoffs. So, but we're going to watch that whole series too, like the watch alongs, because all those games are up on YouTube. And it'll be fun to go back and watch them and see how we did and think about like that old team, that old Raptors team. Because this, as much as we cover current Raptors stuff, this is Raptor Freak channel is the whole history of the Raptors and honoring and talking about every part of the whole time of the Raptors, whether it's the horrible time in the 90s, the Vince years, the Bosch years, the Kyle and DeMar years. It's all fair game because this is Raptor Freak channel. So I'm a fun guy. Good to see I'm a fun guy back. Always good to see you, my friend. Wow, bro. Jaylen Brown and others might not be able to play in Canada. Yeah, we've been talking about this. Like, that's not very smart, Jaylen Brown. I don't know what your personal convictions are that made you come to this decision. But, you're hurting yourself. You're not only hurting your health and your person, your people around you possibly, but you may hurt your team now because you're not vaxxed and you can't play in games in Toronto. So it's going to be very interesting to see if this is true because the speculation is very heavy that it is Jaylen Brown. He's the one who's not available to come play here. G saying, apparently there's a center in France Masai has his eye on. Need to get his name. You guys have mentioned him at least once before also. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot to do still. Like, will we get into off-season mode? Not to anytime soon. I don't want that. I want us to continue to talk playoffs and Raptors playoff strategies as long as we can. We'll start switching gears to this kind of stuff like prospects and things. The Thursday show is going to be like that. Thursday Think Tank. Watch for it every Thursday in the offseason. We're going to be doing think tanks as positive Raptor fans, wishing and hoping and projecting towards good things happening for the Raptors, whether it's in the draft, whether it's during the playoffs, whether it's like with free agency, different things like that. We're going to talk a lot of that kind of stuff on Thursdays. So be ready for that on that segment. Let's see. Darren saying, hated the Pistons for a long time. They need to relocate to Juneau, Alaska. Darren, man, your hate for the Pistons is so strong. If we could bottle that up and put it in like a bottle and sell it, you could sell it to people that are so nice, they'd turn around and they'd have venom coming out of their mouth afterwards because Darren really hates the Pistons. Come on, man, it's Casey. I love Casey. Casey gave so much to us in our franchise, helped build us up, and then we showed him the door. So I have to have respect. And if Casey's revenge is just something we have to deal with because of how we did him and got a championship, so be it. That's just how it goes. And like, honestly, it could be worse guys. At least it's a nice guy and a cool dude like Dwayne Casey. I love Coach Casey. Honestly, it's like he could beat the shit out of us and I still love the man because listen, he did so much for our team. And he really was our guy for a long time. I used to love Coach Casey when he was our coach for the most part. There were some things he did that were boneheaded and pissed me off, but for the most part, he was a fantastic coach for us, and he was a coach here for a long, long, long time. So I have to give him respect and love no matter what, even when he beats us. Evelyn's here. Good to see Evelyn. Evelyn, are you still partying this weekend? Let's see. Good morning, Granny Evelyn here. Are you guys excited to watch the game tonight? Yeah, I'm excited to see us close out the season in MSG. I hope that Scotty has a big game, a big statement game. Let's get that last win, 49. Get 49 wins for the season. That means we went 9-1 in the last 10 games of the regular season. That's a great accomplishment in itself. And yeah, I want them to just win out. Like, don't get into this point. Well, let's kind of, they don't, this game doesn't matter. So it's just like, go win it. Just win the game and get the W, because that matters to our record. And otherwise, it's really kind of just paying attention to what happens with the Philadelphia game today and the Boston game today. Those are both really more important for what's going to happen with us in the first round and who we're playing. So, and I kind of went over the scenarios of how what will happen. It's most likely we'll play Philadelphia, but there is a really real chance that we could end up with Boston by the end of the day. And it could be very interesting. We'll see, because they're playing Memphis. That's a tough team to beat. And if Memphis is still trying to play for something and they beat Boston, then there's a chance that we might have to play Boston. That will mean that Detroit will have had to have beaten Philadelphia also. If Boston loses, then we'll play Philadelphia then. But if they're tied, it's going to be Philadelphia. If Boston's worse than Philadelphia, then it's Boston. So it's still a little bit of wiggle room there. Everybody's saying good morning. Darren's saying Licenta Gross, French player. The big center. Is that what you're saying? I can read a little bit of French. Darren's saying also, Evelyn, yes, let's go. Beat the Knicks. Yes, always beat the Knicks. Darren's also saying U.S. media doesn't actually follow the league. They have bias against two-ways teams. Yeah, I could see that. Darren's saying anyone without a superstar is ignored. Ask Memphis. That's going to change. Memphis has got like this crazy owner now who's going to spend a lot of money, and they got some stars on that team that are getting noticed. So Memphis might get a little bit more recognition in the years to come. They're going to be a lot more. I think that they're going to be at the top of the Western Conference year in, year out for the next little while, just from what I'm hearing about this guy who owns the team and how much he wants to make them win. So if you have one of the richest men in the United States owns your team, he's going to get out his pocketbook. You're going to see Memphis make some splashes and be like a real powerhouse in the next years to come. It's really good for Grizzly fans. But yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see. And I love Dylan Brooks and how he's been doing like this season. I've grown more and more respect for him, even though he's really fiery and he's kind of pissed me off at times too. But I was like, yeah, he's actually a baller and he's Canadian. He respects Toronto and Canada. So you know what? I got to root for him too. Monique saying precious growth has been a joy to watch this season. We can give the most improved player to anyone on the team. Fans, let me know your take. We can't collect all the awards. I wish everybody could get every single award, whether it's Patrick Mutombo, G League Coach of the Year, Nick Nurse Coach of the Year, Most Improved Player. We can't get all of them. I'd like to just get one of them at this point, and that's the Rookie of the Year for Scotty Barnes. And, Pascal should get all NBA. Like that's just a given. And, the most improved stuff, people are talking more recently about Gary Trent Jr. for most improved. But as somebody pointed out, his stats are pretty similar to what he had last year also. So it's not really looking like a statistical huge improvement, even if he has greatly improved his game this year. You kind of have to look at the numbers, and they're like not enough of a jump. So, yeah, I don't know. These awards, we'll see how they all go down. We're not going to get many of them. I just want to get that Scotty Roy to happen. That's the big, important one. Darren's saying it was a worse franchise. Remember the Raps in the past? Poor old Vince. DeMar, even with the better management, got stabbed in the gut. I understand that, but this is the thing. Vince's decision was a personal decision, and it made him look bad. It's just like Will Smith slapped that Chris Rock at the Oscars. That made him look bad. He may have thought that was the right thing to do in that moment, but it's really hurt him. And in some ways, I look at that with Vince the same way. It's like, dude, you may think you're funny by saying, oh, I really pulled a fast one and I didn't try the last couple year that I was in Toronto, but it just made you look bad. It took you you took a hit for this. Like people can say you're fucking like, what the fuck? Who does that? You don't teach young kids, oh, if you don't like your situation, sulk or don't try as hard. No, you say try your best in every situation because at least you reflect good on yourself. And that was the problem with that Vince didn't do that for himself. He didn't reflect well on himself by doing that, even though he thought the Raptors were a joke and then it wouldn't matter to most people. Well, we didn't forget. And you still look bad for it, Vince. Even if you did all these other things since and did maybe you matured, or maybe if you thought about it since, you would have been like, I would have totally handled that differently because you fucked up your legacy in a way. You gave yourself a black eye and a black mark on your career. And it did hurt you eventually. Like it's still hurting you now, at least in my eyes and a lot of other people's eyes. That's why I can never embrace you as a Raptor that I love. Not anymore. I did when you were playing for us and everything, but right up until then, and that you were dead to me after that. And I honestly have not totally forgiven you for that. In some ways, I'm glad you're retired and I don't have to see your smiling ass on the court or anything like that. But still, you're still doing fucked up shit as a broadcaster for ESPN and saying you do part of the Canada discount yourself. And you were fucking here and you were part of our franchise. You were an important player for us. And you're fucking turning around doing the Canada discount to us on ESPN airwaves presently now. Fuck you, Vince Carter. I'm sorry. And a lot of people love Vince Carter blindly and they just see the dunks and they understand his part and everything, but not me. No, that's not how it works with the Raptor Freak. You got to be a real one like DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, he had the shaft from us and he still loves us. And that's the opposite of what Vince Carter is. Vince Carter gave us the shaft and he laughed about it. Fuck you, Vince Carter. I'll say that every day for the rest of my life until like I haven't heard him ever apologize or ever make any amends. And like I said, he's not a part of our franchise at this point. He's just some fuck that was a rookie of ours that we gave like a whole spotlight. He had the whole of Canada behind him and all this kind of stuff, and he squandered that shit. And I understand Rob Babcock was an idiot and our management was fucked up, but also your mother was meddling way too fucking much. And your mother needed to take a step to the side and realize you're a player's mother. You're not a GM. You're not LeBron James. Don't fucking do a LeBron James to our franchise. And that was part of what was going on also. And part of why he was unhappy is because his mom was unhappy because his mom didn't get a certain parking spot. Stupid bullshit like that was going on. And that's part of the story too that people don't realize. That Rob Babcock was a weak ass fucking GM, but then he also had the superstar's mother meddling and trying to tell him who to bring in and who to get rid of on the team. And that was a big problem at that time that people conveniently forget that Michelle Carter was a huge part of the problem in what was happening with Vince here. All right, let's keep going. Darren's saying worth it for the chip, but Vince played for a different franchise back then. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Totally worth it for the chip. As far as like what happened with DeMar, it's sad and it sucks, and I want him to get a chip himself still. But the whole thing with Vince is inexcusable still. You don't strong arm your way out of teams like this, just like Kawhi did to San Antonio, just like Ben Simmons with his bullshit this season. James Harden, same kind of shit. Players that do that kind of shit to me lose my respect. And that's part of the reason why I don't value Kawhi as high as anybody either, too, is because of the way he treated San Antonio. Sure, he did us right, but this motherfucker, he's just as bad as some of the other ones, too, Kawhi. So I don't champion him either. So let's keep going. Shaman Shawarma. We're rivals with everyone. Yeah, I guess we are in a way because we play everyone. That's a good first comment. I like that. And so I'm saying we need a true center that doesn't move like one. Yeah, like one that's very mobile, like an old David Robinson kind of center. That's maybe. Ansom's also saying maybe our next draft pick will be a center for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I want us to just take the best player available. Like I said, I'd love to get AJ. If we could get Adrian Griffin Jr., that'd be badass. Like he would be a great player for our team just because his dad's involved and all this kind of stuff. Monique's saying, thanks for the update on the playoffs picture yesterday, Lex. Playoffs looking good for me and hope it stays that way. Well, Monique, I hope you get the playoff games and you're able to get there and Wheel-Trans doesn't fuck around with you and get you there on time and stuff. And like I said, I got to get out of this COVID, get out of my quarantine before I'll even think about getting to a playoff game at the arena. In fact, I might be done for this season just because, I went to the Lowry game and I got COVID. I don't want to go keep going there and being at risk and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna. I know I'll have better antibodies and more stronger against it, but still, it's like. At this point, it's going to have to be the Raptors are going to have to get at least the second round, if not the Eastern Conference Finals, for me to get to a playoff game this year, I think. So, but you get there, girl, and you support them and do what you do when you go to the games. Cause I know that they love having you in the building. Your spirit and just who you are in the building helps them win. I know that is true. All right, let's see. Rank Scrub is saying, I like Zach Edey as a center for the Raptors, a purebred monster center who could seal the low post every trip down the floor. Yeah, I've heard his name a few times before, and I've heard good things about him. So we'll see. But like I said, I don't go out and look at these guys too much, so I can't really talk about them from a very educated standpoint. But, once the offseason starts and we do think tanks and stuff like that, I'll go do some more research on prospects and people that we get projected for in the draft and stuff like that. And we'll talk about it in a real way. And that's the one time I don't mind doing speculations and talking trade talk and stuff like that. Is on the Thursday think tanks, Thursdays this summer in the offseason. Positive Raptor fans getting together and talking about what we want and goals in the future for the Raptors and how we can look at them. The first Thursday think tank will be this week on Thursday, and we're basically going to be talking about the playoffs and our route to a second Larry O.B. championship and which playoff matchups and how we see it could possibly happen and all lay out for us to possibly get there as far as what the brackets end up being after today for the playoffs and stuff like that. And with the play-in, of course, also, we got to see what happens with the play-in games this week and see who gets knocked out in there. And maybe the Nets are not going to be involved in the playoffs because the play-in knocked them out. That would be fantastic, honestly. That is something that we should hope for because nobody wants the Nets to hang around in the playoffs. If they get knocked out in the play-in, that'd be fantastic. Oh, my gosh. Raymond Jacobs saying at Mo, can Pascal win MIP again? Siakam reached level 3 Super Saiyan and is on fire. I don't think so. I think because he's already won it and stuff like that. And in some ways, he's kind of comparative to when he won it. I mean, he is way better for sure, but it's kind of like that increment. How big was that leap? And is it really that astounding to general NBA fans' eyes or experts' eyes? That's that kind of stuff. But Monique agrees that absolutely he could get it. Hey, listen, whatever's possible. Teflon's here. I haven't seen you in a bit. Teflon, good to see you again. I think Raptors will play Celtics first round. Yeah, see, this scenario, we got to find out and see what happens tonight. Like, what are the Celtics going to play for? In some ways, they may want to win today for sure because they like the matchup against Chicago rather than us. That they may have some real gumption to want to play and win tonight. And plus, I said, Philadelphia and Boston are tied this morning at their record. And whoever has the better record at the end of the day today will be the Atlantic Division champion. And it also will come down to the tiebreaker, which Boston has over Philly. So it really has to be Philadelphia has to win and Boston has to lose for us to play them in the first round. That's the only scenario that gets us Boston. That if Philadelphia wins and Boston wins, then we're still playing Philly. So it's got to be Philly wins and Boston loses today, and then we get Boston. That's the only scenario that gets us down. And I don't necessarily want Boston. I'd rather play Philly, but if we have to play Boston, so be it. Let's see what happens. That's how I'm thinking. Sheldon Wilson here. Good to see another new name. I feel the same way about Vince. I'm kind of happy he didn't get a championship elsewhere. A bit petty, but it makes me happy. Yeah. And maybe that's just some sort of universal karmic response to how he did leave Toronto. And, the other thing that really rubbed me the wrong way was just how much he turned it back on with the Nets as soon as he got on their team. And just the way, and then we ended up having to play them in the playoffs a couple years after that. That was just ugly and gross. It was gross. And it's part of the reason why I hate Jason Kidd and Richard Jefferson is because they were a part of that bullshit. And that's part of the fucking shit with Dick Jefferson now on ESPN is that they were the three amigos for the Nets at that time. And Dick was probably pounding around with Vince. Is like, yeah, you didn't have to play in Canada anymore. You're with us. That's a joke team anyway, Vince. You could have been on that team with them. And he's like, yeah, I'm so glad I'm here with you guys now in America. These fucking three fucking pieces of shit. Jason Kidd beating his wife. Dick Jefferson looking like a penis in a fucking sweater. And then Vince Carter, you turncoat, lazy fucking admitting you didn't fucking play for us the last year you were here, you piece of shit Nets. This was when I started to really say, fuck the Nets. Was when Vince went there and all of a sudden he magically could play way better. So yeah, that's a lot of it. And I'm with you, Sheldon. I'm with you on this completely. And you are probably a very like-minded person like me as a Raptor fan, a longtime Raptor fan, somebody who realizes this. And some people came later and they just see the Vince Carter highlights and all the good stuff. And that's why they love him. They don't understand how bad his exit was. And they may blame Rob Babcock and the management, but it was two sides. I'm telling you, it was two sides. He made that decision not to try. He didn't have to fucking do that. He did not have to do that. And then he fucked us up with that trade. Like, what the fuck? We traded him for Alonzo Mourning, Aaron Williams, Eric Williams, and some other bullshit. And Alonzo didn't even show up. And he fucking crippled our team for the next couple of years because of that until Bosch came. Fuck you, Vince Carter. You did not leave our team better than when you came. Sure, you built it up for a little bit of time, but you destroyed all that once again and put us right back to where we were before you came. And that's why I hate Vince. Kyle and DeMar came and they left us in better places. And that's a big difference. Even Chris Bosh did not leave us in a good place when he left either. So it's like, that's why I discount him and Vince, is because they came, they left, they took off on us, and they fucking went and did other shit somewhere else, and they were happier there. And I'm like, you didn't fucking help us here. And that's why right there. And we're not petty. We're just real fans of our team. And that's the difference. Some people were fans of Vince. Some people are fans of Kobe. Some people are LeBron fans. We're fans of the Toronto Raptors. And that no player actually supersedes that fandom of the team. And that's the difference. Some NBA fans are player fans and some NBA fans are team fans. And we are Toronto Raptors fans here, most of us. So, and that's what you are too, Sheldon. That's why it's not petty. And we're right for this as fans of the Toronto Raptors franchise. Oh, yeah. Monique's saying, congratulations, Amy and Alvin, on the broadcast team for their first year. Should we bring on anyone else? It's like there were so many different people doing broadcasts and stuff like that. Yes, congratulations to both of them, especially Alvin. I love Alvin so much. I'm so happy to see him getting those broadcasts and stuff like that. He's going to get better and better. Amy's had her spots and really cool stuff that she did this year also. So I got to appreciate her, even though she's a Miami Hurricane. Gross. Tom Duke's saying penis is a sweater. Penis in a sweater. Yeah, that's Dick Jefferson. A penis in a sweater. That motherfucker. Yeah, you stay away from Scotty Barnes and your ESPN commercial. Teflon's saying Boston is playing Memphis tonight. Philly's playing the Pistons. I think Celtics lose and Philly gets an EV win. And then that means we have to play Boston in the first round. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about this too, that if you're really going by the records and how teams are playing, but there's so many X factors on the last day of the NBA season. Like, who are they resting? Who's important for Memphis to rest right at the end, because they've already tied things up with their spot as number 2 in the Western Conference. And like, you know, how does Boston, how much do they want to win it? And stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. So we just got to let it see how all the chips fall and be ready for either one. That if it is going to be the Celtics, so be it. That's what I'll say. So be it. And if it's going to be Philly, hell yeah. You know, that's the way I look at it right now. So in some ways, there is a real advantage to playing Boston in the first round. Like I said, once again, I'll say it over and over again. Robert Williams III is not going to be back for a month. And he won't be back for the first round. So we may be better off playing against them without their best defensive big player before he comes back. And that if we get the Sixers and we beat the Sixers in the first round, and then we got to play the Celtics in the second round, and they got Robert Williams back at that time, it may be harder to put him out then. And that may be part of the strategy and the thinking that may be helpful for us if we do have to play Boston in the first round. Oh, yeah. But yeah, Teflon's saying true. Anything can happen. All I know is both teams are scared of the Raptors. Yeah, they don't want to play us. And that may factor into how they shake out with their games today. Like Boston may be like, we really need to win this game today against Memphis, because if we lose, we may have to play the Raptors. And we'd much rather play the Bulls, who are struggling right now, than the Toronto Raptors in the first round. And that could be part of it right there. One of the things that's a little fishy, and I want to do this part, I haven't done this yet. We're almost 2 hours into the preview, is the refs for tonight. Ed Malloy is going to be reffing that Boston-Memphis game tonight. And he is an agent to help the Celtics. So that could be a factor in helping them win, and then that's good for us. So in some ways, we're kind of rooting for the Celtics today against the Grizzlies, is what I'm thinking. Tom Duke's saying that is the easiest route, seemingly, but whatever, will be a grind, no doubt. But it is all gravy. Yep, because we're overachieving anything that was expected of us for the season at this point, because we're in a regular playoff spot. And stuff like that. All right, let's do the ref report for tonight. Our Knicks game, the game against the Knicks tonight. We have quite an interesting crew tonight. Our crew chief is John Goebel. His brother is also a ref. He's from Miami, Florida. He's a 16-year ref. His favorite movie is The Godfather, and he wants to visit Australia someday. Now, Goebel, our win percentage under John Goebel is 0.91, and that's not much higher than our franchise mark of 0.48 right now. So he's a little bit okay, but once again, we don't have an over 500 winning percentage with this guy reffing. And all three of the refs today for us are like this. They're all 0.49 something. The referee for tonight is Brett Barnaky. Yeah, he's a lawyer, y'all, from Clearwater, Florida. He is actually a lawyer that does pro bono work on the side other than his NBA refereeing. And his favorite TV show is Away. He likes the movie For Love of the Game. His favorite musician is Chris Botti, and his favorite meal is chicken parmesan. And like I said, once again, his record for us is the same as John Goebel. They're both 0.491. And then the last ref for us, the umpire, is tonight Matt Boland. And Matt Boland's the oldest ref out of these three, age-wise. And he's been a ref for about 12 years. He lives in he's been a ref for 20 years, sorry. His favorite TV show is Seinfeld. His favorite movie is Tin Cup. He's actually a PGA professional. He's actually a professional golfer, and he has actually competed in PGA tournaments and stuff like that. So we've got a lawyer, a golfer, and a brother of another NBA ref. And like I said, all three of them's win percentage for the Raptors when the Raptors are playing and they're refereeing is 0.491, and Boland's 0.494. And that's just slightly better than our franchise record overall for all of Raptor games, and under 500. So we lose more when these guys ref. So I don't know what that has to say about anything as far as things. So this ref crew is not the best ref crew for us, but I don't think it'll matter. Like, it's the Knicks. Like I said the other night, it doesn't matter about the Rockets. We still came back and won against the ref crew. Shouldn't matter tonight in a lot of different ways. Monique's saying no one wants to play us, Lex. I agree with this. I totally agree with this. All right, let me see. I did the ref report. I've done the injury report. Basically, all the Knicks are out. There's only going to have some youngsters like Obi Toppin will be playing, Emmanuel Quickly, Alec Burks, and those kind of guys. But you won't see any Randall. You won't see any RJ Barrett. You won't see any of the big names for them and stuff like that. So we shouldn't worry about. We should beat them. We should just kick their shit out of them. And our game's not as important in some ways as the Philadelphia game against Coach Casey and then the Boston game against the Memphis Grizzlies. So, yeah, those are the things we're going to be looking at. So I'm not even going to do keys to victory, and that's that with that. Okay, let's see what Raymond's saying. From the looks of the bracket, Raps can have the easier path to the conference finals. I hope so. And like I said, when everything gets settled and we see actual teams in each spot and we know exactly who is who and stuff like that, then we can really speculate about our path to a championship and how it may look. Let's see, Raymond Jacobson, only Miami in our way. Well, that's the thing. If we get on the right side of the bracket in the middle, I don't know if they reseed it where like the top seed gets the lowest seed of whichever like gets to the next round. Because in some places they do that. They've done this in the NBA at times where the number one seed will play the winner of the 4 or 5 seed. in the second round because that's the lowest seed that made it through. Unless like a 7 or a 6 seed beats the second or the third seed, then they may play the 7th seed in the second round because they reseed it by the highest seed against the lowest seed that made it to the next round. So it's that kind of thing. So we may have to play Miami in the second round. This kind of thing going on. So let's see. You missed my first post above the spam. Oh, let me see what you said, Raymond. Sorry. It's not there. I don't know why. Raymond, I don't know why it is not there. Anyway, all right, guys. It's just over 2 hours. It's just a preview for the Knicks game. Great, fantastic regular season by the Raptors this year. We get 49 wins tonight. That's way above any win total that most people thought we'd get. And we're in the playoffs, baby. This week's going to be so much fun. So the schedule for this week is on this channel is tomorrow, reaction to the last game of the season and also how it all shakes out for our playoff matchup. And then Tuesday, trivia, 9:30 a.m. sharp. Come and play against G for that. And Raptor Freak trivia. I've got this JYD practice jersey. I'm going to send to someone, whoever wins the championship in the Raptor Freak trivia for the season. Wednesday watch along, game 1, 2001, Philadelphia and Toronto, Allen Iverson, Vince Carter series. We're going to watch that whole game on Wednesday morning to get us ready for playoff basketball and hopefully Philadelphia in the matchup. Thursday Think Tank, first ever Thursday Think Tank will go down on Thursday, and we'll be talking about how the Raptors can get their path to second Larry OB. And then Friday Freakout, baby. I'm going to have my first ever Friday Freakout, and hopefully it's not because Scotty Barnes did not win the Rookie of the Year. Oh, yeah. All right, let's keep going. Kareem Thomas saying, peace out, homie. Let's get this dub with you. Race Mode Daily says, let's go, Raptors. Thanks. Good to see you, Race Mode, always. Kareem saying, what time is it? 9:05. Let's get it. 9:05. Yes. We want to see these Raptors 9:05 get through this round against the Delaware Bluecoats, 7 o'clock tonight. Same time as the Knicks games. Bullshit, but whatever. Hopefully, Justin and them are playing in the finals this week for the G League Championship. That is really important also. And then Raymond Jacobs saying also on the NBA website, there's a playoff bracket picture. And right now, it looks like Celtics are in the below tougher bracket. Hopefully, Bucks or Nets knock them out. Yeah, that's a lot can happen. We're just going to have to go take it game by game and just adjust and do the adjustments, just like the coaching staff and the players will, depending on what's happening game to game and round to round and all that kind of stuff. That's just the way we have to do it, step by step. Teflon, I love your little dinosaur emoticons this morning. And Tom Duke had to put in the maple leaves because hopefully we'll be cracking open that maple syrup tonight and pouring it all over the pancakes and the waffles real thick tonight, Tom Duke. That's what we want to see against the Knicks. Oh, yeah. First Friday Freakout's going to be off the hook. Yeah, it probably will be, especially if I really put in, like, I'm going to rant and go off. Like, it may, yeah, I might have to turn the volume down on my computer because I might be too loud. All right, y'all. Thanks again. Like, comment, subscribe. Please hit that red subscribe button. That's the most important thing you could do to help support this channel is subscribe to it. I appreciate this great season, this journey that we've all been on. What the ups and downs, all the great laughs and fun times that we've had and shared together on the Raptor Freak channel has been amazing, y'all. And we have so much more to enjoy and have fun doing. I really, really, truly love and appreciate everybody who comes in here, even Crazy Suns fan who's insecure. I love you all. Thank you. Have a great Sunday. Let's wish and hope that the Raptor 905 win their game and they're in the finals. And then Raptors, baby, what a great season. Let's get this championship. Let's go get these Larry O'B's. Let's get these championships, Raptors. Let's go.